history, and I'm like, you guys are so fucking retarded.
So, what happens if, the fucking BlackRock and Vanguard, what happens if they just fucking disappear one day?
Ukraine and Israel would cease to exist.
What do you mean? What do you mean disappear? I mean,
life gets
better.
Money.
People in positions like that don't just disappear.
Yeah, no. BlackRock holds $11 trillion in assets. Vanguard owns like $13 trillion. And
what's
then
the other one?
Gray Street.
Is Gray Street?
Yeah, Gray Street, Vanguard, BlackRock.
Broad Street?
Blackstone.
Blackstone's Broad Street?
There might be a Broad Street, but I think that's a little bit, well, I don't want to say a little bit smaller, but in the scale of those three, that's smaller. So Vanguard, BlackRock, and Gray Street are the three largest, and then what was the one you said?
Blackstone. They're much smaller, but they're up there.
Blackstone, and then State Street.
State Street, yeah,
State Street.
State Street is like they're married to the federal government. Like it's
And
no surprise. Like that's what the Fed uses to send wires with.
Yeah,
they all have ships in their
like
fucking
trillions of dollars.
Yes.
In
like their logos are all like yachts or boats or something. Yeah, that's fucking suspicious as fuck.
Big
You got a
Mayflower
conspiracy
gang,
theory. The older I get, the more and more I think I'm going to be
New
Dale
favorite
Gribble.
conspiracy though, the phantom time theory, where one of the rulers of the Holy Roman Empire, Pope Otto whatever, the theory is that he made up like the period like 300 to 900 something to like further legitimize his claim to whatever, and so really we should be living in the year like 17 something.
I can see that.
Oh, bro. The way we measure time is fucking ridiculous.
Doesn't make sense.
The Chinese have their own fucking measurement of time that they fucking use.
The
North Koreans are on some whole other shit. But like
time started when
it should
Kim
be
Jong-un
28
was
hour
born.
days with 28 hour days with 28 day cycles, because every month would start, and it's a 13-month cycle. It'd start on a Sunday.
But the Earth rotates on a 23-degree axis, which is what gives us our 24 hours type of a thing.
True, but if you look,
it gives us the 23 and some change or whatnot. It's not a full. That's why we had a leap year. But there are other calendars that we haven't adopted that have tried to fit that better. What happens when we become like a spacefaring? You have to have some sort of galactic standard time.
If you take into account for leap years, the reality of it is 20. Like the whole the world is supposed to end in 2012. It would have actually happened in 2007 or 2008.
Yeah. Well, so scientists are saying that the moon is currently drifting farther away from Earth, which is supposed to stretch the days out. So we should be heading into like a 25-hour day,
Anyways,
which is great because that's just another hour we can work.
Goddamn right.
True. The overlords will be very pleased with that. But anywho, we've started.
Another
that was
day for
chaotic.
our greatest ally.
Okay.
That was a lot. You guys were talking about fake girls on the internet. We were rambling on about Vanguard and BlackRock. Good for you.
And time.
What else is there?
One more hour a day we can fight for our greatest allies.
One way
Come
to
on
start
now.
the show.
All right. Well, I told you all to arrive here with your grilled cheese recipes. I see no one brought samples. Thank you.
I tried.
I
really
couldn't
tried.
wait 3 hours.
We're going to introduce ourselves because there's 5 of us now. And after you introduce yourself, you're going to go on and explain how you make the best grilled cheese. So I'm going to start with you, the ginger.
Scoundrel, back again. Grilled cheese. All right. So you want a white bread. You want a wheat, rye, fuck all that noise. You want a white bread. Sourdough, French, Italian, just your standard classic Wonder Bread.
Why'd you look right at him while you were saying that? You stared right
Wonder
into
bread?
his eyes.
Looking right at the DEI hire.
Because I know what he likes.
White bread. No brown bread, no black bread, just white bread.
All right. You want to break it down to the bare minimum. You just need a white bread. You need a solid cheese
As
that
God intended.
melty, right? Nothing too hard for the center. You want it to melt. Cheddar, not a great one to put in there by itself, but you get a bit. Gouda's not bad. I like a Havarti. You can get into like some camembert or some brie if you really want to get
I like where
super
you're going.
fancy. But I like I don't like Swiss because I think it's too wet. But it's like a Havarti, aged cheddar in the center, right? Here's the tip. You're going to butter the insides of your breads. You're going to put them down on the griddle. You're going to get a little bit of some like melty.
On the grill, where are you putting it on? Like how are you making it?
Cast iron,
Cast
preferably
iron,
if you
yeah.
had it. A griddle,
Yep.
preferably, just because it makes everything easier. Sometimes you don't have the proper size cast iron skillet.
This is true.
You know, so you can't just make one grilled cheese. You're
Absolutely
gonna need to
fucking
like
not.
2.
You gotta make like 6.
So you butter the insides, right? Toast those up. Get a little toast. You don't want like the outside toast, but you want a little something, a little caramelization, a little Maillard reaction, you know, a little bit browning. And so then you're going to put your cheese in there. The outsides, you're going to put mayo. And I fucking hate mayonnaise, except for when it's useful in certain situations, such as instead of butter on the outside, mayo. But you're also going to take a hard cheese, like a Percono, like a Reggiano, and you're just going to grate that like super fine right into that. So
None of you guys are going to be allowed to share your recipes after this. This
so
is
that
already
you
going to
get
win.
you get this
I was
like
excited to share mine, but I'm a
cheesy.
little disappointed.
You get this like cheesy crust on top of that crust from the bread, and so you've got cheese on the outside, you've got cheese on the inside, and don't put anything. It is not a fucking grilled cheese if you put anything else inside of your grilled cheese. It's a melt.
Yeah.
You want bacon jam? Put it on the fucking side. You want pickles? Put it on the fucking side. It's great. Cool. Pick it up, bite a pickle, bite a sandwich. Dip it in the bacon jam. That's how you make grilled cheese.
I feel like I should hand you an award or something.
Applause.
That sounds.
I should have started a
I-
timer for
I
that because
love
that
to
was
eat.
very intimate.
I wish I had my notebook because that was written out in a very nice paragraph, so I stayed on fucking topic instead of letting my ADHD brain wander.
Incredible.
Thank you.
On to you though, sir.
I don't know if I want to share my grilled cheese recipe now.
That's okay. That's understandable.
I'm feeling a little intimidated by that, but
I'll
similar.
tell you mine if you tell me yours.
All right, I like that. I like that trade-off. Similar process. Obviously, the fucking cast iron or griddle, or cast iron griddle if you're fucking really into it. Butter on the inside, mayonnaise on the outside. I go the 4-cheese blend. I go extra sharp cheddar for the hard cheese. I go a nice Gouda,
Yep.
a nice brie. And why the fuck am I drawing the blank on the 4th cheese? Because you just mentioned it. And for the life of me, I can't think of it. Gouda.
Havarti.
Yes,
Havarti's
Havarti.
one?
Yep, a nice Havarti, but I don't do thin slices like everyone likes. I like my cheese shredded because I'm autistic. Because
You do get a better melt off
melts
of
faster,
it, more
yeah.
surface
Yeah,
area,
it blends
better,
I feel like
better
it
melt.
blends better together.
Yeah, yeah.
So that way you get the hard cheese to kind of like caramelize the outside of it when it like eventually flows over, and then you get like the nice cheesy crust when you do the flip on the top and on the bottom. I'm in the same boat as you. If you put fucking something in the middle of your grilled cheese, whether it be meat or jams or pickles, it is not a grilled cheese. It is a melt. You have strictly cheese. That is it.
Them are fighting words where I'm from.
That's fine. I'll fight you over that. I'll fight you over it.
Even if you don't call it a melt, it goes by a different name, like a grilled ham and cheese. It's not just a grilled cheese at that point.
It's okay to be wrong.
It's okay to like those. You can like those. You're just wrong.
It's okay to like those. That's fine. But it's not a grilled cheese if there's some other substance except for cheese, mayonnaise, and butter with bread. And I am a firm believer in sourdough. I agree white bread, but my preference
Sourdough.
is definitely sourdough, and that's just because it's just fucking. You can't see me, but I'm doing the Italian hand right now.
Oh, can I interject?
Yeah.
If you're gonna do like a very crusty bread, I like to steam it a little bit
Yeah,
first.
soften it up a little
Soften it up a
bit. Otherwise,
little
it's
bit.
gonna cut the roof of your mouth like you're chewing on razor blades.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. That's why you got to get like a nice warm butter,
Yeah.
and then put it on the bread. Let it kind of sit for a second to take in that moisture, and then put it on the grill.
Also, a viable method of softening your
Yeah.
bread.
Yeah, I guess I could have went a little bit more in depth, but I didn't actually write mine out, so I was gonna freestyle it. You came in with that off the bat, and I felt like a fucking idiot not writing mine down. But yeah, that's how I made my grilled cheese.
All right.
Alright.
Put some ethnicity in it. Let's see it.
So, I am, as the people at this table know, not white. It's Demo, the DEI hire. I don't eat grilled cheese sandwiches.
That is a white person thing.
Yeah.
What?
I don't.
Is it culturally a white person thing?
I have no idea.
I feel like it is. I feel like it is.
I just
know I
not
feel
think
like
all
it
of my
is.
friends that lived in the hood grew up eating fucking grilled cheese because their family couldn't afford anything else.
I'm
It
just
was
not
like
a
the
huge
crab
fan of it.
singles, fucking government cheese, and they were just throwing that bitch on there on the government bread.
I used to house crash singles as a kid.
Okay, all right. Let's table the put a pin in the government cheese. We'll come back to it after the introduction because
Ceasefire.
I have a TED talk about government cheese.
Oh, I forgot to introduce
Oh, the
myself,
cheese
by the way,
tunnels?
but I think we know who this is.
Yeah. All right.
A little bit of garlic salt in my grilled cheese
But-
too, with a little bit of.
Hey, stop stepping on the DEI hire.
That sounds good.
It is
But-
good. I'll make you one sometime, and then
Fuck yeah.
you can realize what fucking grilled cheese is supposed to be, not a fucking melt.
But I do have a dish that it's cheese that I put on the grill. I like to smoke a lot of meats and whatnot. And so I have 5 smokers at my house.
He does.
And one of my favorite things to do is you take Philadelphia cream cheese, shredded sharp cheddar, mix them together in a bowl. You add bacon, chopped up jalapenos. I like to add like shredded brisket or pulled pork or whatever. Mix that up, throw it on the smoker like 200 degrees, 180 degrees, real low. On super smoke, I use a Traeger, so I use the super smoke. Get the smoky flavor in the cheese, and then I use that as a dip or a spread. When you put it in the fridge, you can use it as cream cheese on a bagel. Put smoked salmon on it. Put some lox on there.
I would say if you put that between 2 pieces of bread and put that on the griddle and made a grilled cheese out of it, it would work because it's almost like a pimento
Probably would,
cheese.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
basically
at that
what you
point.
make it into. Is like when it's hot, it's a good dip for like
and a
chips.
pimento cheese grilled cheese sandwich is a grilled cheese sandwich. So it works.
Sounds fucking delicious.
I could throw that on there, but yeah, I made that the other day, and I was like, you know what? That'll be my recipe because I don't, like I said, I don't do grilled cheese sandwiches, but
Can you do that before HTA?
yeah, I can bring a fucking whole ass pot of that shit.
yeah.
I would like that, please.
Yep.
We're golfing and shooting this weekend. If you want to come up and bring that,
I gotta do stuff, adult stuff.
To go to the car show.
is
that's
that
the
the any hole thing or
What?
is that the any hole thing we're talking about earlier?
Oh yeah.
Off of the air.
There might be some holes involved, but probably not. My luck has not been in my favor, so.
Did you try Viagra?
What?
Not that luck. I have no problem in that department.
Oh, all right, cool. I just gotta make sure, man. You never know.
Yeah.
I do have genetics on my side.
This is how we segue into a commercial for hymns. Gentlemen,
Our
if you're having a
first
problem,
sponsor,
you guys,
I will peddle your dick pills. I will peddle your hair pills. I will peddle the fat loss pills and injections. Be the first sponsor of the show. That would be so goddamn
The
funny.
first
No free
official
ads.
sponsor of the Full Metal Cast is Hims. Presented to you by Lack of Dick.
I will make 30-round Ozempic mag standard capacity. I will
Yeah.
push that propaganda. I'll film an ad just popping fat people down the street. Anywho, grilled cheeses before we got distracted by penises.
Way off track.
Holy fuck. Your favorite Cowboy's back. So I have an autistic obsession with this pepperoni mozzarella bread at
from where?
Nino's.
Sabaccios?
Yep.
Nice.
Gotta love it.
That and some pepper jack cheese. I'll commit felonies for that sandwich.
I love
I
a
already
nice
did,
pepper
but-
jack. You committed felonies for it? You
committed felonies
transferred
for
it across the street.
I don't
with
think
state
I would
lines.
admit that on the radio.
I'm a
can't
big fan of
prove
pepper.
it.
I love hot stuff, so I'm a big
Yeah,
fan of peppered
yeah.
cheeses. Like a nice habanero Gouda.
Ooh.
I have
Okay.
Ghost Pepper Jack in my fridge right now.
That'll
get behind that.
do it as well.
And then to turn it into melt like Cajun turkey.
Okay,
I like my
our
sandwiches
host,
hot.
you haven't hit us with
I
Save the best for last.
no, definitely not. The one who went first is definitely the winner, but I'm not even gonna pretend like this is gonna be better. But the only thing I really do differently, I'm on board with the cheese on the outside. I haven't done the mayo on the outside though. I'm only a butter guy, so I'm gonna try the mayo things. That sounds very good.
Real nice.
So
On
nice.
board with fancy cheeses. Love a brie, love a Gouda. What else? They're the type of cheese. What is it? It's French. Port Salut. It's almost like the consistency. It's like a softer Gouda almost.
Okay.
But it's got sort of a sharper tang to it. Melts really well. But I use Hawaiian rolls and almost like smash them.
Okay.
Okay. I'll give you on
And that's
that.
sort of my grilled cheese.
All right.
Definitely.
We're definitely gonna have to like.
Little
I
showdown,
thought
yeah.
about picking up like an electric griddle just to be like.
I forgot today
While
was
live,
Thursday.
just making grilled
We'll
cheeses.
have, we'll plug it into the wall and we'll,
We'll do
just
that
sit at the
next time.
table.
I have one
Yeah.
that I was gonna bring with my cast iron pan, and I'm like, no, it's gonna be weird if I bring that. Now I'm fucking regretting it because
I
I'm
mean,
starving.
there's just kit
We
and
brought a
gear
bunch
and
of
guns
shit,
all over.
yeah.
I don't think a skillet would have pushed it over the edge.
All right, so before we go off on my TED talk about government cheese, I will tell you right now, I don't care. I mean, unless you grew up in a certain income bracket, some fucking white bread, dollar store, bottom shelf white bread, Kraft singles, fucking even some fucking margarine because you can't afford the butter, and Campbell's tomato soup from the concentrate, so you had to pour the can of water in there.
Yeah.
That just it hits to a certain blue collar boy.
Oh yeah.
That was what it was. Now I was on government assistance when I was a younger lad, and we got government cheese. And I'll tell you what, the government is out here buying up cheese from farmers and producers, and they cave age this fucking shit, right? Because where else are they going to fucking store it? They store it in a cage, and it is. I will tell you what, I will put it against some of the best fucking cheeses in the world. Government cheddar, coming straight out of whatever government.
The limestone cave, yeah.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna
when
say
the
they got a
government-
stock of cheese because of World War II, something to the tune of like 12 billion pounds of cheese throughout the U.S.
When the U.S. falls,
The cheese supply.
I'm
will
going
not-
for the cheese horde. That's what
the
I'm going
cheese
for.
supply will
fuck
not fall.
The,
Well,
fuck the
initially,
Declaration of Independence.
If
I'm
you
going for the
haven't-
cheese horde.
If you haven't listened to or watched the Wendigoon video about the cheese tunnels,
That-
it goes into
that is a
the
legit
whole
thing.
history about it and how crazy it is. My fate and the oil crisis is what really kicked off the government supplementing, the purchases of cheese from the farmers because
Dairy,
inflation was so
yeah.
high for dairy for whatever reason and other things, but mostly dairy, that the farmers couldn't sell the cheese and because
Cheese
it's too
milk.
expensive.
Yeah,
So they were
buy all
like,
that up.
"But make it, we'll just buy it." And to this day, there's still like this cheese whale, if you will.
They
in
probably
the
have like
US.
50-year-old aged cheddar that they fucking forgot
So,
about. That
what
is
had-
probably
with the
that
fucking
happened.
delicious.
Yeah, I bet that's just.
He's
fucking
selling it for
orgasmic.
like a couple, $10,000 a fucking reel.
So these are all like underground. These are like climate controlled,
Yeah.
but they're like naturally climate
Yeah.
controlled. They're
Oh, yeah.
limestone sort
Just
of
like the French
caves
used to do, yeah.
underground, but naturally, as government does, they're very inefficient at managing it. And so around the time Reagan was running, reporters were showing like moldy, rotten cheeses from these things, saying, "Look how wasteful the government is. It's all this, it's
No,
all
that's
that."
the best fucking cheese.
And so, around that time, the government acquired some other company, and I have notes on this. Wendigoon is a much better thing about it, so listen to that because it's fucking great. They acquired some company, changed the name of it, and all of a sudden, the Got Milk ads started showing up. And if you remember, there wasn't a particular brand associated with
No.
Got Milk. It was just
Got
consume
Milk.
dairy.
Drink dairy,
Be a good
yeah.
American, drink your fucking dairy. It turns out that the organization that was doing that is still around today, and they pay public schools, fast food restaurants, and just restaurants in general to help develop their menu to use cheese and dairy products from these stockpiles and push them. Like Taco Bell's a big thing, but public schools are like the second, or maybe the first largest sort of.
Well, of course, yeah. Fucking
End user
Yeah,
of that,
give it to
but,
them. Give it
yeah.
to kids. There should
But
be
then,
free lunches.
if you really want to, go down the rabbit hole, you have to look into why lactose intolerance is such a phenomenon here and not other countries.
You're talking about lactose. If you go to any Asian country, you will not be served milk.
Right.
No, absolutely
Anywhere.
not.
So, and-
I've spent a lot of time in Asian countries.
We are
and
the
milk
only-
is not a thing.
Europeans, Northern Europeans, and Americans, by way of being generally most Northern Europeans, that we're the ones who consume the dairy because we had to. Turn it into cheese, eat it throughout the fucking winter and whatnot.
On top of that, though, we are the only species, the only animal that continues to consume milk after we're infants, though.
This is correct, yeah.
And so then you in my mind is, well, the government's fucking making everything worse. So you have this organization influencing, menus and diets, in schools and everything, and pushing dairy and grocery stores and all this bullshit to make it, just more available and more in front of you. The more you eat it, I think naturally the body's going to go, whoa, what the fuck is this? And then I think that's how you end up getting the lactose intolerance thing.
Oh, 100. Yeah, I agree.
I haven't found the limit. That's all I'm gonna say.
He's done talking about cheese, guys. Moving
No,
on.
dude, I haven't found the limit to eating cheese.
Oh, I haven't either. I'm
Neither have
Italian.
I. Listen,
That's
I will die on the hill that I will fucking forever
See,
shit my brains out to eat some cheese.
That's
yeah.
That's because cheese is a cultured product,
It's
right?
delicious.
This isn't milk, right? So
No.
this is I have
I
a
drink
thing.
that too.
I have a thing. I have buddies who are living out in the country now, and they're like, "Fucking raw milk this," and oh yeah, I want to drink raw milk that. There's a
So they're
reason
dumb.
Louis Pasteur dedicated his fucking life to eliminating the microbes that live in this fucking shit, right? Like you're not meant to consume milk outside of infancy. You shouldn't be consuming raw milk from a fucking creature, especially raw milk from a creature that you don't control yourself, so you can't control what goes into it. Because if you've ever had milk from an animal that has gotten into a onion patch or anything else, it expresses in whatever it is that it's producing, like milk, which is why when you're a woman who is breastfeeding, you can't fucking have certain things because it's going to go right into your milk and right into your kid.
So is it
you
true
should
that
be-
pineapples make it sweeter?
Yeah. I can tell you last time. I mean, I am willing to feed a goat a shit ton of pineapples to find out. Sure.
All I'm saying is I'm still going to ask every time I go to Starbucks for the secret fucking breast milk that they've got stockpiled in the back. I know it's there. I know they'll give it to some people. One of these days they're gonna make me a fucking breast milk
You just
coffee.
have to like wink and nod. You can't
Yeah.
just be upfront
I
about
just-
it like
I'm
that.
like, hey, I want the special milk in the back.
I just act like a dick to the hot barista and hope she spits in my drink.
Well, you can just ask for that. And they'll
How's
do it.
that going?
It works.
radio listeners,
You're like, I will
couldn't
give you a
see him
$20
doing
tip
his-
right now.
his
Just
eyebrow
fucking spin
trick.
it.
It works.
On the raw milk thing, though, I hear people like proselytizing it all the time.
Yeah.
I know fuck all about it, so I can't even speak.
I'm not gonna do it.
I mean,
And
look,
this is
there's
why
a
my mom
reason
can't
that
listen to this podcast.
pasteurization was created, and it was because we wanted to consume dairy past it being immediately fresh. type
Because
of a
cheese
thing.
is fucking fantastic.
Cheese is different. Cheese doesn't require a pasteurization
We still want
process
cheese.
because the microbes,
Still want cheese.
in cheese. This is why it's easier for you to digest too. The reason you're getting a lot of lactose intolerance is because you're drinking milk. You're told you need to drink milk for breakfast. You need to drink.
Yeah.
People who drink milk and eat steaks, I don't know how you do that.
I do that.
I put down a lot
I
of
do
steak.
that.
I will say.
I
It's
put
a
down
lot of
a
steak.
fuck ton
Do
of
Cereal
not
is
know
one of
how
my
you do that.
all-time
I'll get cereal.
favorite.
Oh, we
I
lost
have
one.
milk in my fridge,
Cereal
and the
soup.
only reason it is there is for baking and cooking reasons. I don't
I
drink
mean,
a
I put
glass
down
of
more
milk.
steak than a fucking.
I'll drink
that's
a glass.
small
I'll
foreign
drink a
country.
glass
That's
of milk.
disgusting.
That I
Unless
like.
it's chocolate milk,
I have.
you're
I was about to
disgusting.
say I have Nesquik mix too, and I'll slurp that shit. I keep milk for fucking Oreos. I
yeah, baby.
love,
No,
Oreos are my all-time
no, that's
favorite
disgusting.
cookie.
Just
No.
eat your fucking Oreos
Little
straight,
birthday
man.
cake
Don't
Oreo
dip
with
it
some
in
milk
shit.
Make
action.
them soggy,
Nah.
son. This is
Yeah,
gonna be a
make 'em
fucking
fall apart.
podcast and a half.
Yeah, because we went from some grilled cheeses to all right. So you want to keep
Yeah.
us on track?
Schizo rant here.
What's up next? Camos.
Oh yeah, actually,
Yes.
to circle it back just briefly to the grilled cheese, I'm surprised no one went with like a stinky cheese, like a blue cheese or a feta
I
on there.
can't. I like a feta. I'm not a blue cheese guy. though.
Every now and then I'll throw like a little bit of blue cheese crumble in my grilled cheese, just for like
Interesting. Okay,
for
okay.
like a hit.
Okay.
And then the garlic, like garlic salt,
Fuck.
or just
It's
like
a-
straight
it's
garlic
a stinky
powder.
cheese.
Lean in more. Lean in more.
Munster.
They put it. No, Munster fucks. That's one of my favorite cheeses
He's
of all
good. He's
time.
good.
I don't want to put it in his mouth.
They put it on the barbecue chicken pizza at Mod Pizza. It ends in burger, I think.
Fuck.
I'm
I
gonna
know
look it up.
I know what you're talking about, but
I'm
I
gonna
can't
look it
for the
up.
life of
That
me think what
cheese
it is.
fucks.
Okay, so blue cheese is the best cheese. That is
So
the
fucking
pinnacle of flavor.
I don't care what
Here's the
anyone
hot
says.
take.
It is.
I
no,
wholeheartedly
no.
agree with you. It
Because
is
there's
the best flavor.
so many layers to it, and it is the ultimate expression of you're eating microbes.
Yeah.
Shit.
You can't eat a
Cheese
ton of
is
it. but-
microbe shit. Just get over it. You
Yeah.
eat honey, you're eating bee shit or bee vomit. You're eating microbes. They're the byproduct of them consuming what they want to out of it.
You can't eat a ton of it or super often. but
Gorgonzola.
Oh yeah, I fucking gorgonzola. I wouldn't say that's a stinky cheese though.
I wouldn't say gorgonzola is like a light.
Yeah.
It's like feta. It's like one step above feta.
That cheese is like
I still stand on.
If
I
you
still
ate like
stand on blue
a
cheese.
real, like a solid blue, you would die. If
I
you
hate
ate-
blue cheese.
Oh.
I do
What?
too. It's not.
Oh, man, I
listen,
fuck with it.
I like it. I like it in moderated amounts. I got a burger, but
Yeah,
I'm
like
not
a
gonna.
blue
be
cheese
like-
burger?
I could eat it like
It's
crumbles
gotta
on
be
a
with
burger, but that's
something
about
like-
it.
A bacon
Bold.
blue cheeseburger goes super.
If you
hard.
give me a charcuterie board and there's blue cheese on
Little
it,
blue
that's going to be
cheese?
the first one gone.
Yeah, 100%. It'd be
Alright,
blue
alright.
cheese, then Havarti with berries.
All right, quick
Or
break
brie.
for the
Actually,
best noise
brie.
on the planet.
I'm just gonna pick it up. Here, wait. I could have turned it up. Okay. It may have gotten it. We'll see.
We'll see.
Hopefully.
Yeah, blue cheese does go hard though.
It's alright.
All blue cheese.
All right.
All right.
Big stand of blue cheese.
On the
Camos.
camos.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, camo.
I was just going autistic at work looking. Well, I won that. It's a Phantom Leaf bag, Miltech Phantom Leaf collabed on like a 20-liter bag. They were giving it away with Americana Pipe Dream by commenting on shit, and I won it by some miracle. I don't think it was possible to win anything on the internet, but I did. And so I went down looking at different camos, and now I challenge each of you to bring not only your favorite camo and try to strongman it here today, but also your camo hot takes as well, just like the grilled cheeses. I think that would be just as interesting. So again, we'll go in the same order. You, sir,
Scoundrel.
with the shades.
Okay, so was it Dirty Civilian just did
I saw
a video about this, and I like those guys. Like I like a lot of their content. I think so, I like the production on it. Some of their stuff I disagree with, but that's the neat thing about being a human being is that we're all different. Anyway,
We're all autistic in
I
some
think
manner.
that the hunter camos are actually probably some of the best camos for actually concealing yourself
My bad.
from little chaos goblin. Can't sit still.
I'm a little retarded. Not gonna lie.
From you want to disappear? There's some bow hunting. Those motherfuckers turn into the predator. Like there's like that is
Real
really
tree
effective.
extra. Yeah.
But it is very specific.
Yes.
For a certain time of the year.
Yeah.
A certain region.
Yeah.
You have to match it.
But
For-
when it matches.
But when it matches,
you're
you
in.
disappear. Oh,
You're in.
you are invisible. Absolutely
That's fucking
invisible. You
insane. I
look
love
like look like a burl on a log. You know, I'm sitting on the tree. So that is sick. But so hot takes. Multicam is gross. I think multicam is gross.
It is
I've seen. Okay, is it effective? Sure. It seems to look effective. It's still gross.
This guy likes
Multicam black.
DNC.
DNC fucks. DNC fucks. M81 fucks.
DNC plate carrier just dropped.
I know. I entered, but let's not tell people about that because they're gonna enter too.
We don't want them.
Multicam
all
black.
6 people that are
multicam
gonna listen to
black
this in the
fucks
room.
just because it's a vibe. Just like was that Block T? That Block T Urban
Yeah.
camo. That's dope as cool. Let's see. Multicam Arid is mid. It's much better than Multicam. Multicam Tropic is actually pretty dope.
Multiple drop is hard.
Considering about where we live, I like to look at like camos from regions that are kind of in the same zones that we're in, through the same latitudes. So a lot of like the Flecktarn and the Alpenflages, they work for Michigan.
Especially in the fall.
The Finnish MO5 works great up north. Doesn't matter when. It's a great colorway up there. You are just
I'm going for some. I'm
Do you
trying
want
to
a placemat or
playing
something?
fucking jingo.
I'm going for
over
some
here.
autistic shit here.
Yeah,
Leave
you
me
are.
alone.
We can
Put it in
see
your lap and take a picture of it.
Yeah. Get your dick in there too.
Just pull your dick out.
Last time I did that, I got in trouble,
But-
so we're not gonna do that again.
I will say, and I am sad, and I am trying to push this as I remember the 90s. Probably one of the only ones in the room who can say that. But
Wasn't even alive.
But M81
Oh, shit,
was
I didn't think
taken
about that.
into
Fuck.
Rothko
Yep.
makes some of the drippiest camo, and you can ask Wu-Tang, you can ask No Limit Records, you can ask Cash Money Records. They made that like yellow and burgundy.
They sell that at
that's just
Zoomies now.
Oh, I bet they do. I bet they do.
They do.
That
It
like
really does go
bubblegum
hard.
pink camo.
All of the colors. Purple, teal.
Oh, it is. Oh God, it gets
That
me
is-
so hard because
that
I
is
remember
kinda
walking
sexy.
back. I mean, as a kid, I remember walking like Harry's Army Surplus or some shit and being like, "Oh, that camo's so dope! Give me that red and black!"
Yeah.
Oh, and anodized parts like you. I mean, the late '90s, early 2000s. That was the drip. So I like really like weird, esoteric, like that rain that looks like fucking like tree bark is kind of cool, you know. How effective camo is, I think that if you're gonna break it down in solid colors, coyote tan or coyote brown, ranger green, wolf gray.
Yep.
You can paint, dye, fucking roll around in the muck, and you can you can paint, spray paint it, dye it, whatever. You can make it into a color that's going to, because those three colors appear in pretty much every environment, right? So with the right combination, you can disappear. Because I mean, look, unless you're adding foliage, I hate saying that fucking word, to your kit, like, you're going to stand out. I don't care what you're wearing. The busier that you are, especially like those pixelated camos, the human eye is going to pick that up. Because if you're scanning and everything is like uniform, and then there's a super busy, splotch, you're going to be like, what is that?
I think as far as digital camos go, I really think those are made to be dirty.
100%.
Oh yeah.
And then it just,
Fills itself in.
yeah, it turns itself into a tiger.
But here's the
stripe
thing:
if
is
you
like
get-
if you look at it, there's right angles.
That's
Right
fair.
angles don't
That's
exist
fair.
in nature,
Yep.
right? That's like, as God's camo,
Yeah.
if you want to say,
Yeah.
is those splotches help to really break up, and DNC. Right fucking angle. I don't know I don't know who came up with DNC. One of my favorite camos. I don't know who came up with it because it is atrocious. If you were in the desert and I can see
right
you.
there.
I can fucking see you. You look like
It was
bad.
the combat night
You
vision,
look like
okay,
bad
and it did not
wallpaper
work well.
or something. No, but it is drippy as fuck.
They're like, it makes you invisible under night vision, and that was a fucking lie.
No.
Maybe Gen 1.
Definitely not.
Maybe Gen 1. But I'm
Maybe
pretty sure
my
Gen 1 is just
surefire
a
light
fucking
from
toilet paper
1,000
tube you
yards
just hold up
away.
dry.
No.
In the middle
ones
of the
with
night, in the
you had to
desert.
carry like the Motorola shoulder pack for the battery for your night vision.
Yeah.
All right.
You're like, I'm getting cancer.
I've
That's
said my
cool.
piece until you guys say something dumb. Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to start off with him immediately disagreeing with what I like because we've had this conversation numerous times. But there's two variants that I fuck with extremely heavily, and I know for a fact you like one of them. I know for a fact because I almost bought the shorts for you the other day. But
Oh, Miami Tiger Stripe.
Miami Tiger Stripe, baby.
That is a vibe. I told you
I
I love
know.
the weird stuff.
I fucking
Drip.
so normal Tiger Stripe just makes me rock hard, like
I
to
have
no
a
end.
pair. I have a pair of the Miami Tiger Stripe Tack Hunt fish shorts.
Yeah, I know,
Hell
but
yeah.
they came out with a Miami Tiger Stripe pair that I was gonna order for you.
You're sweet.
Yeah. So I might still order those. We'll see. But I'm gonna order a test pair out, see if I like them, and see what they go with. And then of course, obviously Miami Tiger Stripe to follow that up because it just is a fucking vibe. Go out to Miami with the boys, or go out downtown with the boys, and people will look at you 10 ways till Sunday sideways, and you will probably question your life. But I guarantee some random chick's gonna be like, "Oh my god, I love your shorts. What is that?" And every
You're
single
in.
time you're gonna
It's already in.
you're gonna autistic dump yourself into a situation you're either gonna do very well in, or she's gonna run away in fucking fear. One way or the
The
other.
latter.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised because I got asked about the Latina shirt on Friday night
That's
by,
a little bit different.
by more girls than I thought were ever gonna even think to read a shirt at the bar.
How many Latinos?
No Latinas, all blonde college girls,
Sounds about right.
Shocker.
which was not at all surprising.
Surprised
Where
they
were
can
you?
all read.
That's
they
why I was
know.
surprised.
They know they're losing the battle, man. They're just
Yeah.
letting in all the thick Latinos from the border. They're
And
like,
that's
we
literally
gotta keep
every
our
single one of
man.
them question. They're like, so do you really like Latinas, or are you just wearing that to get attention from the blonde girls? And I'm like, I'm like, you guys think that I'm
Well,
I'll
is it
take
working?
any attention
I'm
I
like,
can
you
get.
guys, I'm wearing a shirt to get your attention because.
Back to camos.
Yeah, back to camo.
Thanks.
Tiger stripe, Miami tiger stripe, and every now and then I like to go for a little bit of chocolate chip in the. Yeah.
Chocolate chips, though.
I do like a good chocolate chip. Other than that, multicam tropic. I don't like multicam, but I got a couple of pairs just because it blends in well enough for just a general base.
Yeah, because you could just always
Yeah.
just pop out a bush and just walk in formation, and
That's
the
it.
rest of the
That's
feds
it.
would be like,
Well, I
I was
mean,
going to say it's Fed camouflage.
that's exactly. If the feds ever come raid my house, I'll be in the back of the stack. But all right, guys, let's go.
the
The bedroom's on the left.
the U.S. the U.S. Marshal chick that lives across the street from me. She rocks Ranger green pants all the fucking time, and I'm like,
I guarantee they're 5'11
and
pants.
they're not cries. And
They're
I'm like,
5'11
I'm
for
like,
sure.
oh god, I can't wear these outside and let her see me wearing these.
Fucking 10 out of 10. They're
Oh,
5'11s.
probably, yeah.
They're true spec.
Even
True
worse.
spec. True spec used to be the fucking gold standard. sir.
Keywords used to be.
I know. But now they make pink multicam, so
What do you mean they now make? They've always made pink multicam.
it's been a recent thing where I've been noticing it more pink. Maybe I'm just more tuned into it, but
Well, I think
that's
we
what
all
happens when
need
you're
a pair of Rothko pink multicam pants for the
should
bar
be
nights.
fucking hilarious.
Let me know.
Yeah,
There's,
fucking
And they make a nice T-shirt that matches.
they have both.
Dripped out.
They have both of them in the surplus store up by my property.
100%?
So
Yes,
if
because
everyone wants them this weekend,
it's Rothko.
let me know. I can pick them up. They've got them in sizes fucking 26 up to a size 54.
Fucking Joe's is at 14 fucking Coolidge. We can all go up there and just get the fucking. We can all pick them out. They may not have your size.
I can make them shorts.
No, they've,
Okay.
the one up by my property has your size because I looked just to see.
Look out.
Because I'm like, well, I mean, just in case the boys decide they want to get some fucking funky outfits.
All right, demo. Camos, go.
Rhodesian.
That is a fucking hot take from you.
My brother. With an A.
It's a fucking vibe.
I like Rhodesian, but
I don't.
not because of the
I,
culture.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't like
I like
that
white
side.
hoods.
I don't like that side.
That's what they all
But-
say.
I mean, you know, it's kind of hard for me to like that side, given how I look.
Listen. We can all agree the Nazis made great rockets and cars.
Exactly.
We don't have to like what they did otherwise, though.
Exactly. Rhodesian camo is a fucking vibe.
They
It
post
fucks very
Post-war
hard.
made some decent camo too, apparently.
Also,
I would rather rock Taylor Swift as a all over print than rock Rhodesian.
So would he.
and then as far as like effective camo,
Oh, that's saying a lot. here.
the Kuyu, they're a hunting brand.
Yeah.
Their Verde and their Velo camo patterns
Interesting. Never heard of them.
are fucking insane.
It's like top of the line camo.
They're so expensive.
Yeah.
A pair of pants is like $500.
Yeah. I will say
All
though,
you.
someone at work has a. You remember Zoe 101, the show?
Oh, yeah.
Britney Spears' little sister.
Yeah.
Jamie Lynn Spears.
Yeah.
Someone at work is giving away a Jamie Lynn Spears tie, and it's literally just her face plastered down this tie overlap from when she was in Zoe 101. And I'm half tempted to take it strictly for the memes, but at the same time, I also feel like a weirdo if I were to take
I
it.
find
This
things.
is
That's what
such
I
a
do.
specific pose to the conversation
I know.
we just had.
I know.
What is
Just
What
because
is
I
it?
know things. It's Rhodey versus T Swift. Why? I mean, I saw it earlier, so I brought it up.
Send me it so I can throw it in here when I'm
Yeah,
done.
send that to
But
me.
yeah,
Dude,
the
my sister
Kuyu
would love
camos
that
are
shit.
very good.
Interesting. Okay.
They work really good. They have they're mostly like
Well, that's back to
mountain-
that.
Yeah.
That's very specific
Yeah.
to
Like
the
you
climb.
can go 15 feet down the way and it won't work, but if you're in one certain spot,
Yeah.
you won't be able to be seen. Like
Yeah,
a deer could be fucking staring at you, and they would have not a fucking clue one in the world.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm autistic. I got the pin out. I can't get it back in.
He's
need a
gonna blow us
professional.
all up because he can't get the pin
Put
back
the pin
in.
back in the flashbang,
Jesus.
please.
In the words of our brothers to the east, Allah Akbar.
Aloha
Alright, cowboy.
snack bar.
Camos, go.
Oh, wow. He that 10 seconds. Damn.
Who's the DEI hire now? Chaos Goblin.
All right, so
My hands are sweaty. Okay, I was getting nervous.
I want to say I like a lot of fucking camo, to be honest. with you.
AOR 1.
Yeah, that specifically.
AOR 2 also
'Cause it-
fucks. Harder than AOR 1.
Depends where you are.
Let him speak before you
The
fight
wheat
him.
fields
Pick
of
up that
Oklahoma
paperweight.
say
You
otherwise.
guys are gonna fight each other.
Or Marpat. Marpat fucks harder than anyone.
Yeah, I can't
Ooh, I
find
saw
fucking
a
Marpat.
Marpat kilt on Tax Swap, and
kilt?
yeah.
That's
and I
a
almost bought
511 thing. 511 made those.
No, it wasn't.
No, 511 made
There's
two.
another
I thought
company that makes
511
them.
made the barbecue fucking.
They also
They
make
make a
that.
kilt. They also
They
make
do
a
make a
kilt
kilt.
in multicam.
But and they
You
make
get
one in
like
Marpat.
$200 a drop.
Do they?
Yeah, actually, fuck
Fucking
that.
retarded.
It's not $200 because your boy got a 60% off discount. So
I'm still not paying more than $20 for a fucking kilt.
I paid
Well-
$500 for a great kilt.
For a fucking real one.
It's like 15 feet of
I turned into
fucking
Donkey Kong for a second there.
15. It's like 15 feet of pure wool
everyone just
say,
made
it's
from
a fucking-
from Scotland.
It's
So
a real kilt.
It's a real kilt. It's a
Everyone
great
just
kilt.
missed the
It
autistic
wraps
cousins.
it wraps around you and like over you and shit. Oh yeah.
That's kind of hot.
That's when you know
sick
you're,
as
when you
fuck,
put
dude.
that on, you know
Well,
you're
if you guys
freaky.
okay, if I can
Goodness.
derail, if you guys want to come out August 24th to the 25th, it's Highland Fest or Highland Fling at the Renaissance Festival.
Oh, I'm so
Holly?
sold. I want to go to
Isn't
Ren
that
Sen
the-
so bad.
The
The Ren Fest.
24.
Is that HTA?
No, that's HGA is the
Fucking
14th
so
to
in.
16th, and then September 28th. That's
This is
September.
this is
The
August.
girl I
This is the
talked
last
to-
weekend in August.
The
Time.
car show.
A lot of cross talking. You
Oh, yeah.
gotta speak your freaking camos.
Yeah, you gotta put your camo out. My bad. That's on me.
All right. De-autistify this shit.
No, my bad. Well, I'll shut up now. My bad. That was on me.
Go
Alright,
Cowboy.
so my wheat fields of Oklahoma say otherwise about AOR1.
Where are
you at
right now?
Not the wheat fields of Oklahoma, unfortunately.
There you go, buddy.
One day.
Love you, but there are no wheat fields and
I say
Metro
it's
Detroit.
color combinations. Like, I like fucking M81, Ranger Green, and black.
Yeah.
And then like multicam and coyote, pretty basic because but like Fed colors, you know,
Yeah.
you need some Fed colors.
definitely
just
gotta
in
blend
case.
in with the Fed stacking up your house.
Yeah, or anywhere else for
Just
that
got the
matter.
back door and the seventh man in the stack.
Hey
You
guys,
just
I got
gotta
in
like be
early.
holding, you know, perimeter security
I'm
on
late.
your own house and hope no one notices.
Pray to God they're not using a drone.
Well, when you've got better kit than them, they start to notice like, huh, that's interesting. When did he buy his own shit?
It's
So,
like,
so what do you
got
like for like
issued that?
effective camo?
I want to say around here. I want to say it'd be M81 Ranger Green.
Yeah.
For like the woods and whatnot, like
M81 works
Because
real
like
good at
whenever you're
property
in the
weather.
fucking city, like you know, not everyone has, you know, especially us anyways. I don't think anyone here has any like low visibility like bullshit going on anyways. As far as like play carriers and shit.
covert stuff.
Yeah,
Gray,
yeah, that's the
man.
word. Yeah.
I got the MEPC coming in.
I
What?
do have
That's covert.
an LV-119 covert, but it's loaded down with shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
And
that's
color.
very dependent on how you define covert.
But I think like as far as urban goes, like you know, kind of anything goes.
Yeah.
Because once you're seeing, you're fucking seeing, and like.
So I don't
It's kinda
understand
up.
why black is a tactical gear choice, because okay, like I
'Cause
guess
it's
you're
cool.
SWAT. I guess you're SWAT
Yeah.
and you wear
You're gonna
black.
hate what
like
I have to say.
okay, well, all right, well, all right.
You're a fucking
As
Fed.
an Antifa super soldier, black block fucks. Okay, so I'm glad that they make Cryes and tactical gear in black specifically for that reason. But from a tactical standpoint, you're not blending into anything.
No.
A fucking dark navy is better in the shadows or against dark concrete or something than black is. Nothing is black in nature, and anything that is black. Look at ravens; they're not
Excuse
black.
me?
But you ain't obsidian. You're like a nice like caramel macchiato color or something.
Nice and sweet. I'll let you
Yeah,
get a
you
taste
are.
later.
I
That's gonna be my
wish you
favorite
would.
audio outtake.
Nice milk chocolate
You
mix.
said you aren't speaking in clicks. Relax.
Well,
I might have family from Ethiopia. We don't know.
so if you look at like even raven feathers, right?
Yep.
They're like a
bluish.
very dark like blue because that actually blends. So
That's fair.
not to derail, but
No, you
our
done?
grand
That
host-
was
No,
cut
I'm
you
done.
off,
I'm
yeah.
done. I
All
covered
right.
a lot of shit.
I'll get the effective out of the way. I do think multicam and woodland here in like the more wooded area works outside of like winter. Then you need like a white with that sort of coyote brown. That works really well with like, the dead trees and whatnot. Fall, you can get away with a lot of stuff. Alpenflies actually works very well though in the fall. Same with Flectarn. But I broke it down into a couple sort of categories. The
you can
swag,
PowerPoint.
yeah, the swag category. I threw in. You're gonna hate this one. That digital desert UCP that you saw in Modern Warfare and Battlefield.
Yeah.
It is utterly useless in any environment you throw it in, but it's drippy as fuck. I love it.
Nostalgic.
The only drippy digital is the Navy. Then that
Navy
that,
digital,
that
like
black,
ECU.
that black, blue, like dark navy
I don't even
blue.
like that. I like the standard UCP, baby.
No, that
the worst
navy one-
camo pattern ever developed.
Which
I
No,
love
is
it.
the worst camo pattern ever developed was the ACUs. That like bluish green.
ACU is sort of like a subset of this.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think I have it.
I have,
Should be right
I have
now.
a couple of.
He's like, hold on.
Let me grab a
I
sample.
by a couple names, so I want to make
Grabbing the
I have a
sample.
couple of fucking IFAC pouches that were ACU because my buddy's dad was in Iraq in the
So
army.
I
in
have a question:
2008,
is
so he
why
has a
does
lot of
the
that.
guy.
yeah. Why
Yep.
does the Air Force and why does the Navy need camouflage? And I'm just like, so I have a buddy who's a few years younger than me who served in the Navy. He was he's way too smart. He pulled like the brains out of fighter jets and whatnot, and he was issued this camo, and I'm like, for what? I'm like, for what? You're on a fucking boat in the ocean. What are
The
you gonna
sharks,
hide
dude.
from? What are you hiding from?
Hiding from the belly.
They
of the
can
beast,
see
baby.
you. You're on a boat. Where else are you supposed to be?
Hiding from Megalodon.
Oh, if you go overboard, and that's the thing, because if you go fucking overboard in
Oh,
that
you're
camo,
not getting got.
nobody's seeing you. You look like
No.
the ocean.
Yeah.
You look
Yeah.
like the ocean.
The
This
shark's
really
like,
think
damn,
that
they
one
just
through,
throwing me
didn't they?
snacks.
That's
So
why the Navy should wear pink camo.
outside of the UCP for swag, I also have Belgian Jigsaw.
All Belgians are
I think it's one of those other
It
ones
is
that's
dope.
just wild and wacky. In the fall, yeah, it probably works. I don't think it works very well though.
I don't know where, but it is. I will say it's swaggy.
It's
It
up
is
there.
swaggy.
And then the last one in the swag category, I have chocolate chip. I just love chocolate chip.
Chocolate
It
chip
does
is-
go hard.
Chocolate chip swaggy.
It just looks
Underrated?
sexy.
Or no, sorry, overrated. You said it. I like it, but I'm going to have to admit is an overrated pattern. It is RBS, Rhodesian brushstroke. I don't think it's that good. But
It's so
there is like a
nice.
drip factor to it. I just think it's overhyped. I think people get on board with the whole
It-
Rhodesian, blend
So
diamond
so
thing.
for like the grassland, I think that like brushstroke pattern does blend well.
It looks like one of those like arts and crafts they had you do in school where you cut out leaves and you just slap it on like a piece of paper.
Oh,
with, like,
100%,
glue
100,
stick. Yeah.
100%.
And that I don't really like. So that's why I threw it there. And then I also just threw in here, I don't like Desert Night camo whatsoever, like at all.
Well, that's good because that means that I can secure
can have
more
it all.
DNC gear. Yeah.
Slept on camo, Dutch Jungle.
I don't know if I'm familiar. Oh,
Let me
you
pull
got,
another
you
shirt.
got, oh, he's got it. I was
pulling
gonna
out
have to look
camo.
it up.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like
figured
that.
we'd get into it real quick while he was out getting a shirt.
So it's just like, so it's like an M81. This is what
M81,
Dutch.
little orangish in there. Yeah, it's got
Yeah.
a Dutch flag on the left sleeve, I think too.
Yeah. The green's a little. The
brighter.
green's like a little brighter.
A
Yeah.
little bit more vivid.
the brown is.
I mean, I don't mind it.
pure.
I mean, but that's like all the like M81 like foreign variants in
I
like,
think that's what orange just went over there. Yeah, a little orangish going on. That's a little interesting,
but,
a
like
little different.
DPM
Yeah.
and stuff like that is all in like a woodland M81 kind of like this like very splotchy, your
work real
rounded
good in
edges
Ukraine.
and whatnot. I mean,
Yeah, I
Irish
wouldn't know.
Irish DPM is sick.
Irish DPM
All,
is fucking
British
dope.
British
Looks good in
DPM. I
trenches.
hate the British, but British
Yeah.
DPM's dope too. You
Yeah.
know, but there's a lot of really nice camos out there. There's also a lot of like really terrible camos,
Yes.
like that Saudi like blue chocolate
Yes.
chip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
The blueberry chocolate chip.
I throw
though,
that in the drip column though.
Yeah.
It's drippy. It's drippy, but like I don't really, like. Is there supposed to be some sort of nighttime? Because I don't know how blue would be an effective
No,
I was about to say
daytime
fucking Saudi
camo.
No.
Yeah.
I will. There's another.
Sand.
I forget
no
which
water.
desert camo is. I think it was before chocolate chip or maybe after. But it's got sort of that like stripe of like light green getting brushed through it almost.
I don't know if I'm
Let me
familiar
look
with
it
that.
up. I really don't like it. It's iconic to like America's time in the Middle East, but American desert camo.
Don't know if I can say if I'm familiar.
I'm definitely not.
It's BDU.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like it's just not doing it for me. Like chocolate chip all day.
I think that was between chocolate chip or M81 and chocolate chip.
Yeah, Desert BDU.
Yeah.
Well, what was BDU was the predecessor to ACU?
Or it's the 3-color Desert BDU specifically.
Or
I'm not
that
sure.
was like that's
it was before this.
Yeah, that's like the M81 variant, right?
Yeah,
the
but it's like
DCU's
super light tan, and it's just not doing it for me.
It was like they were trying to mix that with M81, like color-wise, with like the M81 pattern, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
And then the last take I have is not really necessarily specific camo, but I think multicam or M81 over just flat black looks fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Black hoodie, multicam plate carrier, that fucks.
Okay, all right.
That's sick.
As a drip.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah. As a drip, it's the entire reason
when
that
you
like
said multicam
M80, like the M81, like that my everyday carry bag is a skateboard, snowboard, inline skate type of bag, and that was the only colorway it came in. It was all M81.
Well, when you said multicam is gross, I agree with you in the sense that, like, head to toe multicam kit, I think it does look disgusting.
You look gross.
Yeah. It's like that sort of like pea soup sort of general color thing.
Well, it's like I don't think that you should ever be in any sort of like monotone, right?
Yeah.
So if you're in the desert, I think that you should be in some sort of two-tone as well. You should be in maybe like a darker bottom and a lighter top. Versus like if you're in the woods in the winter, you should definitely be in white bottoms and a darker top because you're going to be trudging through snow, right? But you're going to be trees don't have fucking snow going up to them. You're not, snow's not up to your head in most spots that you're trudging through.
If it is, you're in fucking trouble.
Right. And if you are, you're tall enough up that you should actually be more like maybe a more saturation of green up top.
Or you can go full ghillie suit, Sasquatch style, and just fucking.
Well, that's
Bigfoot.
So that's the thing is that just wearing a fucking color and a pattern does not make you invisible.
Right.
You have to break up what is the human silhouette by adding something else. Because your shoulders to the top of your head is very. The human eyes will focus in on it because we know even if it's not a human, if it's that shaped, we will focus in on it because it's a threat, right? From our lizard brains.
Well, you've been trained since birth. You've been, even being breastfed, right out of the womb. You're seeing shoulders up to head.
Sure.
Your entire existence.
What's crazy is there are a lot of animals and humans. It doesn't matter where you've been. You could be completely away from them, but if you're an infant, you crawl the fucking away from the sound because snakes was one of the things that always fucked with us, right?
Yeah.
So that sound triggers all sorts of animals.
Interesting.
Triggers humans.
I didn't know that. I will say. It depends a lot on the environment. But for the most part, in like a dense sort of like forest, the actual. And so again, it depends on the scenario. But we're on survival, we're on hunting, right? Like every little marginal inch, you're going to strive for. So the pattern, the colorway, you're going to opt to get it. But at the very top of the list of things that stick out, it's always going to be motion. Just visually.
Yeah.
It's going to be motion. You can hide in a bush butt-ass naked, but if you don't move and it's dense enough, no one's going to see you.
Correct.
You can wear a bright red shirt too, and if you just don't move, chances of you getting spotted are very low. But again, if you go back to, you want every fucking inch, to make sure you're not shot.
Well, so that's one thing. That is one of my my complaints with any sort of camo that decides to put black in it. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I understand that you're attempting to create some sort of depth by adding that to the print, but like black doesn't show up in nature. Right. It's not a natural thing. It's just like in the food industry why all of your Band-Aids are blue.
Yeah.
Because that blue does not fucking show up in nature. There's no way you're missing it through.
The blue crawfish, though.
Oh, yeah, okay. So there's that blue. Yeah, I mean, lobsters are fucking blue before you boil them and whatnot. But yeah,
Some of them.
there's a reason that blue bandage is a thing. This is because you fucking notice that.
And blue is typically considered a threat in the wild. Like there are like the poisonous tree frogs in the Amazon have like blue feet, like bright blue feet.
The blue dart frogs.
Yeah, stuff like that. So.
Poison dart frogs.
Yeah,
They can be a bunch of different colors,
Yeah.
but they're usually very wild colors. So it's very bright.
Extremely
don't eat
neon.
me. I mean, it's the same thing with like monitors. We have, if you guys saw my fucking front yard, I have so many fucking milkweed plants. So we have a shit ton of monarchs and a shit ton of other different butterflies. And the ones that land on the fucking monarch or the milkweed plants, they're very brightly colored because you don't want to eat them. They're not tasty.
All right,
that's the
I
reason.
just because I have this on here to talk about too. We're sort of still in the camo thing. Bangladesh.
Oh yeah.
What just went down there was fucking
Wicked.
crazy. And so if you don't know, essentially a bunch of college kids decided to start protesting basically government like work quotas, and they said that they unfairly sort of favor those who show loyalty to whatever party's in power.
1/3 of government jobs are set aside for the descendants of people who fought in the independence of Bangladesh.
Thank you for that color.
And that is what they were, people who were supportive of the people who are in power right now.
Thank you. I did not dig that deep.
Bangladeshi
Oh, I
government,
researched that, read a lot of AP news articles.
Yes.
They were basically given like a. You can use whatever means to get rid of these protesters. You can shoot them. You can grab
yeah,
them,
they
you can
did
do
the
whatever.
they issued the shoot on site to
That being
the
said,
military.
though, and again, they went on for a couple weeks, maybe a month or so. That being said, on August 5th, the prime minister resigned and fled the country.
To India.
And only 90 people died. And I say only 90, but only 90 people died. All things considered, when you saw the video, you saw the number of bodies in the streets, the shoot on sight order. Only 90 people died, and they basically booted the prime minister just by rolling out in numbers
College
with
kids.
nothing in
College
their
kids.
hands, just
Yeah.
going at it. So F-16's nukes all you want and whatnot, but I said that because I was just curious. I was like, maybe I should pick up some Bangladesh camo. Camopedia, which I didn't know was a thing.
Oh, Camopedia is dope.
Yeah.
The camouflage
There's a
encyclopedia.
PDF for everything.
Yeah.
The wide array of camos
Max
these fuckers
autism,
have is
is it?
insane. Like sometimes, like they show them in the actual like orange, like Rothko,
Yeah.
like sort of like M81 ish
Yeah,
pattern.
it's like that M80 or urban M81
But it's like
or whatever.
gray and black and
Yeah.
yellow. And then before that, they just rocked it looked like British DPM. But they also had a Bangladesh DPM, which looks just like exactly the British DPM pattern, but with Rhodesian brushstroke colors.
Oh, son.
They got some drippy fucking camos.
Oh, there's some drippy if you go down that rabbit hole, and you will be awake until 3 o'clock in the morning tonight. Going, like,
I'm into this.
so that, and then what was that? Hold on, what's that? What's Camo HQ?
Yeah. I'm not. I
was on Camopedia.
Camopedia. No, yes, Camopedia is gross, but Camo HQ is even deeper because you can buy whatever the fuck you want.
Ooh, okay.
In almost.
Do they have 36 inseam?
Yeah.
What's
yeah,
that?
I've seen that.
Hold on, I have no idea.
That's my problem usually with all these sites. They all stop
It
at
is
like
true.
34 or 32 inseam.
But they have everything. They have T-block. Oh, you can go. You want lizard camo patterns? Here's all the lizard camo patterns that you could possibly want.
Their
In
list is A
French,
through Z.
born in Egypt. What? Camo HQ?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fuck.
not doing it.
And
I will not go to work tomorrow.
they have the Ahigaho.
I will call in.
They have the Ahigaho camo.
Don't tell Ben. I'll take that out. I'll take that out.
No, do tell Ben. I
I
want him. What's that?
I'll take his name out.
Oh yeah. I want to see him in Woodland Ahigaho.
Actually, there's no last names. Fuck it.
Ahigo?
You can say it.
Ahigo? How do you pronounce it? Ahigo?
Ahigaho. Ahigaho.
I don't know.
I'm so proud we don't know how to properly say it right.
I'm
Good-
going to look it up on Google right now.
Good job,
I know how to
boys.
spell it, so that's, you know.
we know what
All right, so camo, Bangladeshi camo into what was happening is a good thing. Is that, and that shows you that if you take to the streets, look what the French did. Look what Mexicans do. You flood your major fucking cities, but in America, it's completely looked down on, and people will run you over because you're taken to the streets to protest for rights that would support them, that would benefit them.
With that, for the most part, the things that have taken to the streets, and I'm just using the sort of the lens of just like college protests. They've just been isolated to like the college campus things, and it's been it's been like brother versus brother, less so us versus the state sort of thing. Now the Black Lives Matter stuff, different story. But I'm just saying the more recent thing of like the Palestinian encampments and whatnot, like that didn't really do anything for a lot of people because it was like, this doesn't help me in any way. Like no one's marching towards the representative to be like, do fucking something like the Bangladeshis did.
Well, it's funny that the American people actually need to march on these institutions in support of, and this is not to disregard what's happening in Palestine, but why can't we have these fucking riots for our own fucking people, for the blue collars who, you're feeding 2 people, it's costing you $300 a fucking week. You can't afford to. You literally, so I know that demo's kind of in the same bus. Stuck. How old are you again?
I'm 24.
You're 24? Okay. So you're a little younger than my youngest brother because he'll be turning 30 this year. But he's kind of in that same where he makes just enough that he can afford, like a 1-bedroom to himself. But that's it. He'll never have a house. I don't think he'll ever make enough money to own some type of property unless he were to go in with some other person. And depending where you are,
$90 in my bank account.
It can be a struggle, and that's what it is. And at some point, we're gonna have to start rolling out fucking guillotines into the city streets, man.
That's a great segue because I got some election-themed shirts coming out.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Guillotine 2024.
So I'm in the design. In the back
Guillotine
design,
there's
a beautiful portrait of a guillotine in the forest that's overgrown and whatnot with a quote over it. And the front, I'm choosing. It's gonna say vote, but the O is either going to be the head opening with the actual guillotine over it, or it's the noose. I can't decide.
Ooh.
So you might want to cut this, but I think a lot of shirt ideas where you do that exploded diagram of, hey, here's how to assemble here's the parts, here's all the parts to a guillotine. Yeah. Well, here's all the parts to a guillotine, one an exploded blueprint diagram type of a thing for it would be kind of fucking sick.
Type deal, something that you hang on the wall.
Maybe another run of QR codes.
I was gonna say you could run. Ooh, that's good. You can run one of each though, and how to tie a noose on one, and then how to build a guillotine on the other.
I like that.
But you got to be careful with the guillotine thing if it gets widespread.
I also have to be careful with the noose thing.
My dumb ass wearing
I'm more afraid of the noose thing because there are some
stamp
racial
of approval.
Cultural
stamp of approval.
Give me the N-word pass right now so I can
write it down.
N-word pass granted via DEI.
I'm not entirely sure you can hand off a news pass.
All right,
I'll tie it for him.
There goes the hymn sponsor.
Him sponsored half of an episode. Congratulations.
Got to have a feed the worms song.
Yeah.
But no, I like that's a good idea.
Hymns. If you're black, take hymns before you're hung because you'll just tripod off of the ground.
Someone's definitely gonna have to remind me not to wear the noose version of the shirt or noose version of the shirt to work though, because I will forget. I will wear it, and someone is definitely gonna
just wear it and stop being a pussy. If they fire you, they fire you.
No, that's not what I'm worried about.
We were just talking about how we can't afford anything.
I'm not worried about getting fired. I'm worried about the coworkers that I'm very cool with that are of other ethnic backgrounds. And I would
just explain to them that, for the ones who...
We just want to hang Mike Pence, or JD Vance.
Why stop there?
Well, I think you should fucking... Hey.
all of the above. We can cut that out because we might get...
So this is... So
with current world events,
so
knocking on some doors.
So now we're into like a little schizo branch, but I was having a conversation with my wife today about this, and it's that
You got to be very careful with this topic because of the recent events and them knocking on people's doors, making threats toward politicians.
We'll redact. We will redact accordingly.
We'll redact some of it. Just because people have been knocking on doors, like the feds have been.
I would love a First Amendment fucking fight.
Oh, 100%.
The ACLU, I would turn it into a fucking circus. I don't have dogs, so I don't have to worry about it. But what happened to politicians being
afraid of their...
No. Fucking... Okay, and this is funny because I started this kind of... This conversation with my wife, and I was like making fun of... You guys remember Plumber Joe?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, so Plumber Joe was like the thing during like Bush or whatnot, between the Bush and the Obama, where, oh, he's a blue-collar guy.
Yeah.
It came out that he wasn't. He was a fucking plant. But like, back
Naturally.
in the day, your local representative might be the charismatic fucking plumber.
Yeah.
Right? What happened to that? Now all of our representatives are career politicians who are looking to be placed into that. What happened to the guy who was like, I'm done with this. Okay, and some of this has to go with like, if you look at this just because it's fresh in my mind, is what Tim Walz makes yearly versus what J.D. Vance makes yearly. Like, Tim Walz is a public servant. And this is not in any way, shape, or form an endorsement of any
don't
politician.
endorse politicians
because they're all
here.
fucking
Fuck 'em
terrible.
all.
But lesser of two evils, and you're going to see some talking points out of some who are saying that, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I think that the people who fucking you represent you should be people that you should be able to rub shoulders with. You shouldn't have to afford $1,000 fucking plates to be able to express what's going on in your community.
Forget that.
Take it back to that.
Majority Green Taylor, over the course
This
of...
fucking stupid bitch.
So she last traded July 24th of this year. Guess the volume in dollars that were traded on that day.
12
Multiple
million.
hundreds of thousands.
27 million.
Close to $1 billion.
3.2 million.
3.2 million.
This is not these are not public search. You look at anyone here. You know, that's just the one that popped
Nancy
up first.
Pelosi
Well, so,
is
I mean-
worth like $900 million.
Nancy Pelosi, last trade, July 1st. 51 million.
See, that's why there should be. You shouldn't be able to like. Should you make a living wage as a politician?
No.
No,
Absolutely not. I feel like
that should be a volunteer position. God damn it.
If you're going to make any money, it should be the average median income for your incumbents. And that's if you're making any money.
You should live off tips.
Yeah.
Live off tips.
Fuck you, live off tips.
Because again, I don't think that you should be a representative who isn't of your people. But what happens when the system says that you have to be in? Now look, I don't think they spend nearly enough time in fucking DC as it is because they don't do anything except collect money.
Because they're fucking
But
taking trips out
but
of
if
the country.
but if you are meant to be a representative of your constituents and you have to be in one local place, then you do have to be funded, right? You can't. How are you supposed to work your job that is, across the fucking country?
I feel like that should be separate from the money you're making. There should be money that is set aside for you to do the job that you're doing, but not the actual income that you're making, if that makes sense. Like,
So
the
if
income
we
you're
take
making
it
is
if we
take
take it to a point where it is a job, then yes, you should make the median income of who you represent to do your job and represent those people.
100%.
You shouldn't be allowed to
Any type of-
profit
any
off
type
of
of
your
profiteering
position
off of fucking backdoor
in
deals
government, in
or
representing somebody. Because now you're mobsters.
racketeering.
You're mobsters, yeah.
It's a racketeering fucking...
100%.
Hold that. Pause. I'm going to switch out this because we were over an hour. So take this guy. Give me that one. Let me turn this down to the same volume level that one was at. Cool. You're good to go. Sweet.
But yeah, no, that's always been my first stance. Is if you're going to be a politician, if you're going to make anything, it should be
I missed
You were
that
supposed
one.
to stop, but keep going. It was just no. It was just supposed to be something that was thrown in there. Stop making it weird.
It should be at most the median income of your incumbents, which.
But you shouldn't also be able to see, and that's why money should be out of politics completely.
And I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that more than I believe they should make the median income. I feel like it should be you've got your job and you've got some type of fund that gets you back and forth to work on the policies that you're presenting, but you shouldn't be making money stock trading or making backdoor fucking deals with these companies.
Before, that's going to be hard to do. That's going to be...
And I get it.
That's much further of a leap than just hold them to the same laws we're held to.
And 100%. Like
That's
there's
already an impossible task.
There's a difference
But
between
that's a little
trading
more
and being-
realistic than saying you don't get paid anything.
Well, unfortunately, they happen to reside in a certain income class where
They like children.
You can fuck
Yes,
kids.
I was gonna make that joke.
My man. My brother in Christ.
people in positions of power, they tend to get bored of the same things that you and I do, and it's what can we get away with, you know?
Yeah.
Fucking
And
kids.
that's why, ready? I had this thought today in the gym too. Don't know why. Actually, no. Someone brought up something that happened in some church, whatever. That's why, though, every single religion, at some point, as far as I can think of, does stuff with kids or other people who are unwilling to do so. Like it's happening in Israel right now with the hostages.
Yeah, I seen
you
that.
hear it in the Catholic
They're-
Church with
they're
little boys.
actively protesting
They have
that.
it with the Muslims out in the Middle East too, with the
Buddhists?
teen boys and whatnot. I don't know, probably.
I'm thinking, I mean, all positions of power.
The Dalai Lama did it. He's licking kids.
That's true. Okay, that's true. The
city
people in
president
positions of
licks hands
power,
to kids and
people in positions of power
hands to the
have a
women
tendency
later.
to do fucking weird shit because they're corrupted by the fact that they're untouchable. They have so much power that you can't do anything to me. And religion is one of those things that feeds people that power.
Yep. And our greatest allies, military, is actively protesting the fact that they believe they should be able to
Hey, they have the right to
Rape. They should be able to rape prisoners of war.
They've got the right to, not they believe they should be able to, but they think
That was
they
wild.
believe they have the
That
right
was
to rape
wild.
their fucking.
I am
their
so
victims.
proud.
Who, Israel?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Israeli citizens damn near stormed the fucking jail,
I don't even
the
remember
military
that.
jail that they were holding the people who were the soldiers who were raping these prisoners of war to release them because it was they're fighting a holy war. They're fine. Yeah.
Like from fucking infancy to the eldest of the elders. And they're like, yeah, this is our right. Like, this is part of our military
Look on
contract.
his face.
That's
when you
one.
were breaking it
That's
down.
yeah.
They're hitting them like, hey, this is like, we signed a contract. In our contract, it says we're big chillin'. We're allowed to put our dick in anything that we want. So
I'm not going to tell you that you shouldn't.
That whole region to glass.
I think
What are we doing?
In the middle, so
tried this.
that region has been in conflict
I
since the
know.
beginning of fucking time.
know.
Nothing we do is going to change it. Everybody over there is going to fight over everything because,
not if it's all glass and they're all dead.
I mean, fair enough. I'm not for the mass slaughter of any sort of.
They want to depopulate the earth anyways.
What are we
Might as well
doing?
start with the pieces of shit.
Unfortunately, it's generally the people in power who are the pieces of shit.
That's exactly it.
And Joe and Joan fucking Schmo
okay, idea.
aren't bad people.
Idea.
a lot of ideas.
We get the people that aren't pieces of shit out of there. We put all of the politicians and the shitbags there.
If only human
Then
beings
fucking
were
blast.
really good judges of character. Unfortunately, we're dog shit at judging.
I think
We could just move all the
Easily
politicians
manipulated.
right there.
Where I'm
Then
at.
blast.
Where I'm at is I almost am rooting for a nuclear conflict.
Absolutely fucking not.
Hard pass. Such a hard pass.
Like end the species.
It sounds like it's a good
question
idea until
mark?
it's not.
End the
You're not
species question
wrong.
mark.
You're not wrong.
Like we've gotten to a point, right? We were built. I say this 24/7. I bitch a lot. I hate my job, so I bitch a lot. But like we were born on a planet that grows food.
And we pay for it.
What the fuck are we doing?
And
Well,
supplies
why aren't you
free
guys?
water.
Why aren't you guys growing food in your backyard? Kill your lawn. Kill your lawn. Grow food.
I've got 40 acres.
We
where I
were
grow
born
food.
on a planet that
And have
like
honeybees.
provides everything you could ever need to survive
And we figured out a
and
way
to
to
thrive.
monopolize it.
And like we have credit scores.
Yeah.
And we
As someone in the mortgage industry, yeah.
like what are we doing? Government? What the fuck is that?
A monopoly.
Because at some point we all decided that we were all going to squat up amongst ourselves and we were going to establish these little bits of permanence, right? And in order to have that, you have to have somebody who is in charge, right? And as our anarchists, hierarchy is inherently bad. Forced hierarchy is the inherently bad thing.
Where we are.
Because naturally,
No means no.
hierarchies exist.
Unless it's talked about prior to.
No.
There's always going to
CNC is
be
the thing.
there's always going to be somebody who ends up having to be in charge, right? Because human beings, as infallible, flawed, beings we really do like to delegate our responsibilities to somebody. It's one of the main reasons I think that human beings invented a creator, an all-powerful being who tells us what to do, because in times of stress, in times of where decisions are hard, we can leave all of that up to somebody else, right? An external source who tells us that our decisions are valid.
Whether that be a deadbeat father or not.
An invisible man in the sky that we can blame our hardships on. Of my child has cancer and is going to die. God's plan, right? It's very easy to dismiss that sort of like responsibility, right? If you can just put it on invisible.
I've got a kind of sidebar to that. Speaking of God's plan with children and whatnot, because of the what? Well,
Continue.
it doesn't get any better. So let's just start there.
Oh no.
With the current world ongoings and the current thing being the Olympics, which is actively happening. I don't know if anyone's seen what I believe was the Dutch or the
Yes, Netherlands.
Yeah, the Netherlands have a pedophile representing them who.
Oh, I did see that.
And on top of that, not only is he a piece of shit who raped a 14-year-old, but
12.
My apologies, 12, which makes it even worse.
Yep.
It makes it even worse. There was an athlete the day before the Olympic Games started that was gang raped in Paris, and that has not even been
That's because the Olympics
It's also
are dog
Paris, so
shit.
it's not news for Paris.
I understand that it's not news, but like the fact that
Olympics
they're
have been
just
dog
like,
shit for
go
years.
out there and compete. You're already here. You might as well fucking do it up. Like,
all right, best from last week. We want to segue into that.
I feel we gotta land the plane with what we just did there. That was a lot.
Definitely the schizo branch.
so my bad on ending on that note.
First episode back with some boys in a little bit.
And I fucking kill it.
We hit three
There's a
topics.
fistful of whiskey down as well.
Yeah.
We hit 3
I
topics.
think, and I've always held this as well, wording this. No, it's not like wording this is going to sound bad. There's just no way I can word it that's going to be right.
Yeah.
I think religion in a vacuum, sans man, is good. If you're going through a hardship or whatever, you lose a child, something terrible happens. I think it's healthier for someone to be like, God's plan, than just letting them tear that apart. My thing, if you could choose to be happy rather than letting something eat you alive, fine, get on with your life sort of thing. I also think that religion, for the most part, does sort of teach morality, depending on the religion. I think once man gets involved, though, you get messy. You get interpretations, you get power vacuums, you get manipulation, you get abuse, you get translation problems, you get power structures and whatnot. And then it starts to contradict itself. The teachings of Christ, loving everybody, turned into but the gays maybe.
I was thinking about that.
No premarital sex, church, priests have to, remain celibate, except little boys, apparently. That sort of stuff happens. And so that's, I've talked about this ad nauseum, why I've fallen out of love with the church a long time ago. But I am still spiritual, religious, in sort of the Roman Catholic flavor, if you will, because that's what I grew up with. That's what I know. That's sort of my my background.
So more of an orthodox.
Yes, exactly.
I've said it once, and I'll say it again, is that religion is the bane of man, and spirituality is what will save man. Your individual spirituality is great, right? Everybody needs something to believe in. And if you choose whatever flavor of belief that you choose to hold, or non-belief that you choose to hold, if it makes you a stronger person and helps you get through the rougher times, however you may.
As long as you don't drop an NF, because we didn't talk about that at all.
I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
But it's the organized religion. So it is religion that has a tendency to corrupt spirituality and lead people away from what, there are there good teachings in the Bible? Yes. Do I think that you should believe in an invisible man in the sky and follow everything to a T from a religion that was created millennia ago? No.
A religion also essentially translated from wingdings on clay tablets.
From a dead text.
Where words could mean a wide array of like the same character is used for 7 different meanings that could be sky, fire, or
chicken.
cow manure.
The Inuit have 100 words for snow.
The takeaway, for whatever reason, that whoever the powers that be looked at and said, this is what it means, and it's the Bible, it's Christianity, essentially. Especially when there are other schools of thought that completely believe otherwise, is a little crazy. Again, do I think it teaches good things for the most part? Sure. But to completely just jump into it wholeheartedly, you said something great about, being the bane of man, and that sort of, I immediately thought like it's just another form of tribalism, some other way to divide people. And like governments, churches, religions, whatever it may be, they need money to survive. It turns into a business.
How many Baptist churches are there?
Yeah, exactly.
Denominations of Baptists are there? How many denominations of Catholics?
And so long as you are sort of adhering to the overarching principles that are transcendent, throughout most religions, being a good person, respecting, your fellow man.
Or non-religions.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
It's basically it all
human rights.
Natural rights, human rights, yeah.
And what was it? The golden rule: do unto others as you would have do unto you. I think it translates across, every single religion and every single and any facet of community is that you should treat your neighbor how you would want them to treat you, type of thing, right? And that transcends everything. Yeah, it doesn't matter who you attribute that quote to. It's a good fucking quote.
And what scares me a little bit is when I see a lot of people in sort of, the firearm space do the whole and we're getting back to the NF topic here, do the whole say Christ is Lord thing, or we're going to gun you down when shit hits the fan thing. First of all, you're spitting right in the face of every fucking religion you are subscribed to in that moment. That's not very Christ-like.
You're so holy, holding.
What flavor of Christ is
and
your
that's
Lord?
a horseshit
New
shortcut.
Testament.
And I get it. We're people. We're humans. We need shortcuts to, survive. That's how we've evolved. We've created these sort of shortcuts.
To identify who is friendly versus who
exactly.
is enemy.
And again, everything's nuanced. Everything's gray in the realm of, just people in general.
We're Nazi.
But, so is war, and so is when shit hits the fan, and Walking Dead sort of scenarios, right? Everything's going to be a little hairy, and to be say Christ is Lord right now, I'm going to fucking canoe your head in.
And call you the NF.
Yeah, you may go far, honestly, if you have numbers like that, but you're going to be killing a lot of good people who share your beliefs, but because they aren't going to say those exact words that, the one true God told you to ask in order to vet people, you're just missing out. And I think it's extremely short-sighted, and it does make me a little weary, especially when I see it happening in a space where people have, such abilities and such power like that.
If you talk to God, I think you touched. There's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with you. If you claim to speak to God, hey, my favorite character in Braveheart was the Irish dude who told him that Scotland was his fucking island, right? He said, hey, I talk to him. That was my favorite character. But if you're that guy, I'm keeping a fucking eye on you because you're something really wrong with you.
You're a gangster with God in his pocket.
To be fair, though, most of the people that have been touched by God
We've now ran the plane off the runway from the religious conversation.
It's a Boeing. It fell out of the sky.
Speaking of Boeing, in the underreported column I have here,
Yeah, the space
Boeing
My bad.
stranded those 2 astronauts on the international
Until like
space.
next
2025.
year, dude.
Yeah, until 2025, they're stuck there because the Starliner that they made broke.
What a shame.
Surprise, fucking surprise. Look, hey, you know what? Those 2 astronauts, fucking dumb. I don't care how smart you have to be as an astronaut.
I'm with you 100%.
But if you were like, if
It's a Boeing shuttle. I'm like, maybe not.
the recent news about Boeing airplanes wouldn't give me a lot of fucking confidence in their fucking spaceship.
If I'm the astronaut, I'm sitting in that briefing and I hear you're going to be the first astronauts to reach the International Space Station via Boeing's new Starliner. All I'm hearing is you're getting a Tesla and your job is to go cross country in it, a Cybertruck, and your job is to get from New York to LA. Good luck. And I know I'm never going to make it.
And it's on one charge.
not even that. Give me free charging. I know for a fact I'm still not going to make it.
Yeah, I'm going to break down. I'm leaving from New York, going to LA.
I would rather be on the fucking Apollo 11 where it broke down. It broke down and they had to fucking come up with a plan on the spot. And it fucking, look, those fucking assholes in fucking Houston figured it out with duct tape and fucking bubble gum. And guess what? Boeing hasn't. Yeah, fucking punch cards to read their to put their input into their computer. And Boeing can't fucking close the door. Can't close the door, man. The door doesn't shut.
Okay, thank you for bringing up the Boeing theme, though. I didn't know how I was going to tie that in. All right.
How.
Response or truck kits?
Yeah.
What are we rocking? You know, we can take pictures. We can throw it up later after this. We don't need to pull it out now. But I thought it'd be interesting because everyone does like a full-blown like kit rundown and EDC sort of rundown. But thinking more so of like an in-between, you know, what is sort of the loadout, the kit that you would throw in the truck in maybe more tense times? So I think, so to preface this, the way I pitched it to you guys was when the current Middle East conflict kicked off, I threw some additional kit and enhanced firepower into the Jeep. I threw in the 16-inch, AR that I have with the T-Rex Ready Rig and my belt. Just kept it in the Jeep. In case something crazy happened. It just felt kind of tense. It felt really wild here for a while, and just having the enhanced medical, the enhanced sort of means as a way to fight my way back if I had to, or get to somewhere safe if I had to, was sort of peace of mind. What would that sort of build, that active shooter response, sort of the, get from point A to point B in times of, maybe escalation? What would that look like for you guys? And anyone can just, I'm not going to.
I brought my bag. If you want to grab my bag for me.
You don't need to bust it out now if you know how to talk through it.
Fucking bust it out right now, and I will talk through it.
Because I want like pictures of everyone's too, so I can throw it up as we're talking about it.
I brought the smallest kit. Fits in my fucking everyday carry backpack that I fucking. This goes with me everywhere. I don't usually carry the fucking ears, but. So
hey, hearing's good.
I was gonna say,
ears are good. Ears are good. I don't usually carry. I mean, I have like some Surefire Sonic Defenders and whatnot in the bag at all times.
I carry earbud, fucking ear pros everywhere.
But yeah, that just happens to be just stock EDC. So all right, I don't carry a truck gun. I don't live in the country. I live in a very small suburb outside of a very large major city. So my kit is very much tailored to what are my expectations between it is like a 17-mile drive between my work and my house. Okay, it takes 20 minutes on the freeway to get down into the downtown of the city, right? So it's a city. It's generally flat, right? But I'm not expecting to get into engagements outside, longer than 100 yards or something, right? So we have just a basic chest rig. It is Haley Strategic. It's the D3.
That's pretty.
The Disruptive Environments chest rig. So it's the D3 CR.
I like it.
It's the minimum one. It's not too bad. I've got a 35 round. So the main weapon, if I was going to have to travel with something like every day because there is some sort of unrest, it is the CDC Scorpion in the. It's not. Oh, they're never loaded.
I'm like, we're just pointing it right in my face.
They should never be loaded.
And he's like, I'm just gonna make sure, just to double check here.
Oh no. I almost put my flag in it, but for the way that this is set up.
I've thrown away every single flag I've ever
My
gotten.
flag doesn't work for it because it didn't come with a flag. So I have a Scorpion Evo pistol. I shortened the barrel off of it because I think the barrel that it comes with is
trash.
Yeah. So it's a little shorter package, but not much. Okay, it fits in the backpack. Just a little chest rig with a 35 round magazine for it, a 30 round mag, and 2 20s, and a 50 round drum. Because why the fuck not?
Reloading is stupid.
That's a pretty tight drum. It's not as big as you'd think.
It's the Magpul.
That's nice.
Which is if you're going to buy a drum, I would buy the Magpul. All the reviews, all the research that I've done, and I am super autistic. I will research something for 3 months before I buy it.
Same.
Shoes, pants. It's got to be worth it. This is worth it. I've seen it. I've thrown it against the wall. I've put 100 rounds through it, so just 2 mags through the magazine. But I have not had a single malfunction off of it yet. So there's also have 2 magazines for. They're just the flush because I like to carry this with the 23 rounder in it. It's just a M&P 2.0. This is loaded. But this is the everyday carry like pistol, right? Like if I knew that things were, I would upgrade from the
For this
shield.
segment, I'm gonna close the blinds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good idea.
Wouldn't hurt.
People aren't walking their dogs right now anymore, but
Just in case.
Just in case. I know there's a good amount of foot traffic around here, so.
Some medical. I have a basic blowout kit. Some Z-fold combat gauze, some chest seals. Two magazines for the pistol. If I was carrying in a concealed, I would put one of the flush mags in and then trade it out for the 23. But it's a pistol. It's a secondary. I have 105 rounds of 9mm, which I think in a city location is about all you're going to need. I don't think you're going to need to stretch out. I'm not in any sort of flat farmland where a 5.56 would be more effective. And anybody who's running a 5.56 in anything shorter than a 10.3, 10.5 is you're losing the effectiveness of the round, right? The 9mm was meant to be put out of a small barrel, so therefore I'm extracting as much potential out of the round as I can. It's still in a platform that is more stable than a sidearm because of my ability to quote-unquote shoulder the pistol, the braced pistol. But yeah, I mean, this, I've got the blowout kit, which is in the ready rig. There's also a boo-boo kit in the bag because this is my EDC bag. I take this everywhere that I go. There's a towel because you should always have a towel. Hoopy Froods always have a towel.
Change your socks and boxers, I would hope.
There's a pair of socks. There's a pair of socks in there. There's some lickies and chewies. There's a handheld flashlight. There's a battery bank for the phone. There's another blowout kit that's in there because this blowout kit lives in this chest rig. Gloves, balaclava, multi-tool, this is just all everyday carry stuff. Some heavy duty flexi cuffs. My little city tools. So this is some picks, some more zip ties, a Mylar blanket because Mylar blankets are they're good for pretty much they're good for a lot of things.
You break down the cold.
Yeah. I broke down in the middle of Wyoming.
Yeah.
Headlamp because you should always have a headlamp and M3M95. This I think is what if you live in a city or any sort of some this yes. So this is what I call the city key because a pair of bolt cutters will get you into stuff, but this will get you into. This will open elevators. This will open hotel room windows from the outside. Electrical cabinets. They'll turn on.
Do you have the link for that?
Yeah.
Post in the group.
Oh yeah, I will. Yeah, I will send this.
Yeah, please
'Cause
resend
I've
that.
just
This is Nipic. So Nipic, they make those little tiny. If you're into EDC, you see these assholes carrying these little tiny fucking pliers around, made by KNIPEK, I think. So this is the best, the best city tool that I could find, like a water key, like your Silcock. So this is a standard Silcock right here, and then this one will get you into. This will open a lot of lock boxes, like that. A power box out there, it might get into, yeah. And if not, you've got these different, all these, they're all built for just different stuff. And around my work, this accesses everything. I don't need a single key from actually inside of my my desk. I can just carry this. So
That's excellent.
turn water on the outside. If you need access to water, they're not going to have handles on the outside, so you can't access it. This will turn it on.
Stupendous.
I'll send you a link so you can put it in the show notes. There's a TQ in there. That's a soft T. Road flare.
Smart.
You should always
need a
have
tack
a
cert?
fucking road flare, right? Because this will do a lot of things for you. It'll light pretty much anywhere, maybe not underwater. But they should burn underwater.
They do burn underwater.
You don't want to, if you're in a fucking, an elevator, you don't want to use this because you're going to fucking kill yourself. And then I have a water decontamination
nice.
kit.
And electrolytes.
And electrolytes, because drinking chlorinated water fucking sucks. And that is, The one thing is that if it tastes like chemicals, you're not going to want to drink it. But if it tastes like grapefruit,
If you're thirsty enough, you will.
Oh, 100%. If you're thirsty enough, you'll drink fucking piss water. Yeah, Bear Grylls that shit. So yeah, that's is there anything else really of notice in here? I mean, a lot of. I always carry a titanium. Spoon on me.
In case you need to heat up your.
Let's say you never know when you need to shoot up.
Lickies and Chewies. I suggest Mexican candies because they always have the flavor. Oh, there's none in there. Let's see. Yeah, that is like almost a yeah. Oh, if you are carrying flashlights.
Is that the Woobin off of Amazon?
No, this is a Streamlight.
Oh, is that a Streamlight?
Yeah, it's a ProTac.
I'm gonna say I carried a Woobin for the longest time. A little $20 Amazon light. Fucks.
I have burned out 18650s. I have a rechargeable Streamlight. I have the big 1,000 lumen guy that sits essentially in the center console of my truck. Unscrew the fucking battery cap.
Yeah.
Right. So click it until you're not getting any sort of fucking. It'll stay on there. You don't have to fucking. But what it'll do is it'll prevent you from burning out the battery in your flashlight.
Oh, it's got just leak. It's got drain.
Yeah.
Well, no, these little clickies.
Ow.
Oh, you'll ND it in your bag.
Yeah, you'll turn it on. I brought that 1,000 lumen one into my. Sorry, bud.
Ooh, that was bright.
When I was hiking Picture Rocks, and somehow in pulling stuff out and putting stuff back in, it turned on, and then it melted the nylon case that it came in.
Well, we were just talking about
Smoke baking.
the Streamlight, HLR1, about how easy it is to ND the light.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm carrying a fanny pack or a backpack, I've done that before too, where I've thrown it in and turned it on, didn't realize, and then
annoying.
I'll pull it out and it's 1,000,000 degrees in the bag or the fanny pack or whatever it was in.
Oh yeah, and you'll smoke the fucking the fanny pack. You'll burn a hole right through the nylon, and then I will shill for a guy named Coffin Tramp on Instagram. I have a G10 pencil. Nice. Looks just like a.
It does look like a normal ass pencil.
What the fuck? Hold on.
Have you never seen those before?
I love the eraser
I
cap
got the
too. That's
Sharpies,
pretty gangster.
Well, that's because I carried it in my pocket for such a long time that the eraser just popped off.
Yeah.
I think this one actually is on there.
That's
And he has he shows you that you can like grind, like
Poke your
shave
stomach with
off.
it. See if it's real.
You can shave off like graphite and then super glue it to it. So if anybody pulls it off of you and they try to write, it'll show. And then this one is D2 tool steel.
Oh, you
So
did
that
give us
will
the one?
shatter glass.
Yeah.
So that will shatter
fuck
auto
yeah.
glass too. That one's a little heftier.
I was gonna say I need to feel the weight difference between those two because I've been debating the steel.
So I have flown on an airplane with that in my pocket. That guy has been in check luggage. When I went on my cruise, I carried that. That's been in Mexico. It's been in Costa Rica.
Fuck. Going to
I
Mexico.
want to take this to ye old and like.
Mexico's a vibe.
Fuck that.
Mexico's a vibe.
Fuck that.
As long as you stay out of the tourist areas and go into the fucking city and experience the culture.
I don't know that I would do very well down there, if I'm being honest.
Oh, you'd be fine.
We don't have a good track record.
You would
You'd
blend
be
in.
fine.
You'd blend in better than you think.
You would be fine.
Just throw in like a drug rug and then maybe like a big hat. You'd be.
I used to
All right,
have a
so
drug rug.
you
too,
may or
because
may
I was
not.
big
You
into
could.
that.
Anybody who knows me who listens to this of my friends is going to know who this conversation is about. But a guy I used to work with was an Ethiopian-born Pakistani, and he came to Detroit, lived in Detroit for a bunch of years. He got a job down in Texas. He went down there, and I was like, bro, they're going to think you are a fucking Mexican. And he speaks the Queen's English. And he came back up like maybe a month later because he was still moving like his dad down and whatnot. And he was like, bro, he's like, all these guys, they come to me and they speak to me in Spanish and I don't understand them and I don't know why. And I was like, we told you this was going to happen to you, man, because you look like you're fucking of like Latin descent. So it's just going to happen. This is just funny. But yeah, Mexico's dope. Go outside of the tourist areas. Go experience some culture.
Don't be an idiot, though.
The best fucking
That part.
food.
Don't be an idiot. The cartel will fuck you up.
The normal people will just fuck you up.
Well, yeah, that too.
Cartel knows what's good for them. They know that if you start offing fucking bunch of American tourists, then
This is
they're
true.
not going to buy the money. You know, they're not going to buy the drugs. They're not going to spend the money in the country. That's what makes everything go. All right, so that's my response gun. I mean, and why I have it. I just threw it together because I just had it. I didn't really think about a truck gun beforehand or like what a response kit would be. But considering that, you know, where I live, I figured 9mm would be good. But when I get property, it will be a different. It will not be a 7-inch 5.56. Please learn about the ballistics of the round that you plan to use before you go and get like a 7-inch barrel for something that is going to start tumbling, you know, bullets out of the barrel. Yeah.
All right. Who's next?
I will take that reign. I guess we'll go around the table. I'm a very simple man, as I do not currently have a ton of money to buy a new carry setup that I'd like for a little bit more protection per se. I do have a 5-inch 300 blackout. I don't carry it super often, but like you said, during times of uprising, like when Dearborn was having the protest saying "Death to America," I don't know if we remember that. Like a month and a half ago.
There.
I know a couple of people don't remember. Like I had that conversation at work with a couple of Chaldeans. They're like, no, I don't think that's the case. And I'm showing them videos of Dearborn. And they're like, that's not
This is
here.
Michigan.
They're like, that's not here. And I'm like, it's literally Detroit Fox too.
We could drive there right now.
And I offered, and they're like, no, that's not the U.S. That's definitely not Michigan. I'm like, if that's what you think, go ahead and believe it. I carry a full-on trauma pack in my truck. When I go into work, I throw it in the backpack. When I need to throw the 300 blackout in there, but seldom do I carry that. My main squeeze is the Glock 19 red dot. I carry a flush mag in the pistol. I carry a 17+6, a 15+6, And then I carry Hornady Critical Duty, not Defense Duty. Shout out to the homie in Wyoming for hooking it up on the cheap. $350 for 500 rounds. So I bought 1,500 rounds because that is a fucking killer deal. If you know, Hollow Point at all is expensive, but that was definitely the homie hookup. His finder's fee was, hey, kick me a box of 50. We'll call her a square bear. I said, absolutely no problem.
Load it up.
I said, by all means, tell me when it drops. Other than that, like I said, blowout kit, massage gun, charge pack, phone cord. Obviously, I carry 3 sets of like the silicone earplugs. Myself, normally I'm with my dad. I'm finally getting. He's got guns and he's like into guns, but I'm just getting him to like carry like not a fucking Ruger LCP 380. For the longest time, he's like, I'll just pocket carry my LCP, and I'm like, if we're getting into a gunfight, I'm fucking taking all of the weight off of you because you're gonna get 3 shots off, and you're out of ammo. Congratulations.
That'll be it.
And now I've got him carrying his SIG 226 in an appendix rig with a Surefire X-Spring Inner Turbo. I'm slowly but surely convincing him to get a dot. He was running FMJ.
There you go.
I loaded him up with fucking Hornady Critical Duty because I've got an endless supply of it, it feels like. And I'm slowly but surely getting my family into like proper carrying, not bullshit fucking. My grandma still carries a little Ruger 22 revolver. But I can understand it because she's got arthritis and she can't rack any slide she's ever touched.
Yeah.
So like that's the best she's gonna get. Like anytime, because she's a real estate agent. So anytime she goes to show houses, I'm like, hey grandma, you're 72 years old. You're not fucking going alone. I'll go with you. Like every now and then she'll show a house in Detroit. I'm like, not gonna happen. I'm going with you. I'll wait till I get off work or I'll fucking call in. But other than that,
Good man.
Yeah, throw down some electrolytes. I always, I go through 2 gallons of electrolyte water every day. I distill my own water to make sure it's perfectly pure. And then electrolyte BCAAs. I always have at least 1.5 gallons on me just in case I get into a sticky situation. Other than that, obviously cell phone, wallet, keys, flashlight. Nothing too crazy.
Hold that. I'm going to bring him back in. I was throwing this back on the charger while he was taking a piss. All right. You're solid. 3, 2, 1. And that one's live. You're good.
All right, cool. But yeah, like I said, nothing super crazy. Eventually, at some point, I'd like to have like a little Scorpion or maybe something not a PSA 300 blackout that I got on a fucking, my cousin did the homie hookup with literally a welded tube as a handguard that one of his employees made because he owed my cousin money. He owns a mechanic shop, so he's like, here, I've got this. It's pretty much the best you're going to get out of me. He's like, well, it needs a handguard, so he's like, hold on, I got it. Fucking welded a tube, spray painted it black.
Good enough.
Fucking, like, prime G-Watt tube handguard. Like, it's kind of a vibe. It's like a 1/2 inch thick. So I'm like, worst case scenario, I go, if it doesn't cycle, I am fucking definitely using it as a
somebody with a.
I'm definitely using it as a blunt object, and it's fucking someone's day up.
Well, 300 black is the rifle caliber that you can get away with shooting out of a short ass barrel.
100%, and that's the only justifiable, except for what is it, 8.6 blackout they just came out with.
Yeah, well, now we're getting into wildcat.
Well, 8.6 is not, but even so, like, I mean, so for this, like,
but
the
like it's
300 blackout pitch is the sexiness of the sound suppression with the shortness of the barrel. When they looked at the actual ballistic performance, it wasn't like anything
it's
to
not
really
great.
Be stunned about. But
Demo.
Yeah.
What are you packing for a response kit?
So I pretty much use. I have a. It's like 5 years old. I don't remember what model it is, but it's a Vertex, just like regular everyday backpack. Doesn't look tactical or anything. I have a lot of food in it.
Yeah, that's a lot of food.
Just because I work fairly far away. When I built this bag, I worked about half an hour away from my place of dwelling. I have since moved, and I now live about 10 minutes further away, so having a bunch of food on me is Nice to have in case I have to like abandon a vehicle or whatever and like hike it home 40 minutes.
Well, that's not a 40.
It's a 40-minute drive. So it's, at least a day that I'd be hiking back home.
Better part of it.
It's like 35 miles. It is a straight shot though, which is nice, but so I keep basically a go bag on me, a multi-day pack. It's got a blowout kit, bunch of spare mags. I run all the time in my truck. I have my full kit box pretty much. So I have my plate carrier, my belt. I have a 10.5 AR with a suppressor, and then I run my concealed rig, which is a just Glock 19 with a 17 rounder, and I keep a spare, or a 19 rounder, and I keep a spare 17 rounder in the truck.
Well, that makes sense because you're not driving into a major metropolitan.
No, I live in the middle of nowhere. I live in the middle of nowhere, and then I drive through farm fields for 40 minutes to get to my job in the middle of nowhere.
So having a rifle caliber
So having
weapon definitely makes
5.56.
more sense.
You
than,
almost
me
need,
having
a bolt-action woods gun just to
Yeah.
tie into the.
Yeah, the reason I use a shorter gun as opposed to just like having a 16-inch is because if if there's a fucking threat that I can, see and it's further than 200 yards, I'm going to try to not engage that threat and just,
Well, get the fuck off the axe.
Get
There's no
the
point.
hell out of there,
There's no
'cause-
point if you can
Yeah.
retreat. There's no point in engaging.
Exactly. Like if I'm in a fucking if I'm in a shit hits the fan situation and I need to just get home, I'm not gonna be taking 500-yard shots at nothing. So the 10.5 really works because there's a lot of in Michigan, farm fields are very broken up by tree lines.
Yeah.
So you get 200-300 yards of running through a cornfield or a wheat field or beans or whatever, and then it's broken up by a tree line because there's probably 1,000 different farmers that farm the lands between my job and my house.
The lands between.
So it's they're very broken up. So the ranges that I would be engaging at if I had to engage a 10.5 AR, I mean, I'm gonna be able to take care of that, no problem. But yeah, for the most part, it's food. I have I think 6. We were counting them just now. I have 6 freeze-dried meals if need be.
Do you have water, and do you have a way to heat that water?
Always have water on me. When I leave the house, I always have bottled water or whatever. And as far as a way to heat the water, I don't carry a stove or a portable stove or anything on me.
I mean, you can easily eat all of those cold.
Yeah, exactly.
But something about if you're on a 35-mile hike back home, which is not going to be a straight shot because you're not going to be hiking on the shoulder of the highway, you're gonna a warm meal is going to do a lot for morale and a lot just to get you moving.
For
Good point.
me, for me, I've never, lately, within the past probably 5 years, food for me hasn't really been like a morale booster.
But you're living a generally comfortable life.
Brother in Christ, you just said you love Oreos. That's bullshit.
That's true. But I mean, I don't really. I mean, Oreos. I haven't even bought Oreos in months.
I mean, it's also
don't
a reason.
believe that.
There's also a good reason as
want
to have
receipts.
a very high dense sugar treat in your kit.
I do
is
carry
because
granola.
that little bit of sugar, it can change your mood if
So
in
I
a bad
carry.
situation.
So I carry a few different. So I mean, one of them was some spicy chicken and noodle or whatever, and then another one I have granola. I have a few different kinds. It's not like I'd just be eating slop out of a bag or whatever. But I mean, right now, as far as food goes, that's not the part that's real important to me. It's the water for sure. I currently can go, multiple days. I work a fairly labor-intensive job, and I'll go days at a time where I just like don't eat anything.
Sure, but now add on top of you're actually having to put in very calorie-dense movements. You're having to carry everything, your bag, plus your kit, which you're not going to abandon most of it, and you're going to carry all of that 35 miles, 45 miles to your home. That is not going to be in your truck. It's going to have to be on you because you're not dragging anything,
That's true. Trying to think if there's anything.
Again, so this was why when you said about response guns and I didn't have anything set up, I said, because you shouldn't be packing out for what ifs. You should be packing out for this is what's going to happen, right? I could have brought, my 12.5 folder, little shorty, but I'm not going to carry that in my bag. That's not something I think I'm going to need to get from my place of employment back to my home if I had to take the side streets type of a thing. But for demo, having a rifle caliber or a rifle length rifle makes much more sense than, me having it. You and Xander, points could be made from where you guys work that...
Plus, I'm a 45-minute drive to an hour-and-a-half drive away from work.
That a rifle
25-ish miles.
Because
of traffic.
If my 7.62 was more built out, and right now it's not been fully tested. It's only a couple hundred rounds through. I know 7.62 ARs are notoriously unreliable. It needs to be tested a little more, and I need to get a light on it, and I want to slap a magnifier on it as well. That would be the go-to. It's a 10.5. It's got a folder on it, and I like that 7.62 round suppressed very much so on that rifle. So that will be the one. At the time, I was like, I'm not going to deal with any bullshit regarding braces or stocks. I'm throwing the 16 in with the LPVO because I have more time behind that than anything else. I'm more familiar behind an
with
LPVO.
that platform.
Yeah, within
Better
10
than
yards
anything
even
else.
than I am with an EOTech at this point. So I naturally sort of gravitate towards that. But the red dot on that 7.62 is sort of my ideal one once I get it more time behind it and I get it built up. But
one thing too, shit hits the fan situation. I have cash in my go bag as well, just because. A shit hits the fan situation. You're like day one in like a apocalypse situation. Like currency is still king. So if you have like some sort of physical currency on you that you could use for literally anything, I think I have like $100 cash. I have like a 20. I just keep it in like different denominations.
Yeah. Because you may need gas, and if if there's a computer attack and all of the payment methods are down, you can still pay cash.
I keep 10 ounces of silver and an ounce of gold.
Another thing too is I drive.
Man.
If I can get somewhere, odds are shit hits the fan, I'm gonna be able to use my truck. Just because I live.
Go anywhere with it?
Yeah, I live in the middle of nowhere, but yeah, I drive a lifted diesel truck. So even if I can't get diesel fuel, anything that's flammable can be used as fuel pretty much. It doesn't have any like emissions or anything on it, so I don't have to worry about, any of that, having to use like the specific kind of fuel. I can run it on whatever is flammable and will lubricate the injectors. And then, just a normal, flashlight, knife. I have a nice Gerber knife. It comes with a flint striker.
nice.
And stuff like that.
Throw a Bic lighter. Throw a fucking Bic lighter. Throw a Bic lighter. I don't care what any survivalist, Siri, Recce, Navy SEAL Ranger tells you. Carry a fucking flint and steel.
I have a lighter in the glove box.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Carry
I have a lighter in the glove box.
Bic lighter will 90% of the time, if it gets wet, you can fucking dry it off. Take it from a 16-year smoker. A big lighter is damn near indestructible.
I smoked for probably about 10 years too.
I don't smoke,
always have
and
a
I
bunch
still
of
carry a big lighter
lighters.
wrapped in tape because duct tape will fucking duct tape.
Go so far.
This is Howie's hockey tape, and because it's a cloth base, it'll light right up. No problem.
All right, Senior Crye Cowboy.
Oi, so I have an unfortunate
Sticking to
drive
rocks.
to work. So it's right through the fucking suburbs, right? But it's only fucking 2 lane. So I take 15 mile all the way to fucking work. Like, get out of my neighborhood, turn right, I go straight, turn right, I'm at work. And rush hour traffic, you know, it takes me an hour to go 14 miles. Yeah. 25 minutes flat in the morning. So if anything, if I have to like go home, like I will find a way home, but I am going straight north to east and then south. Like I'm going up and around.
Yeah.
Because, you know, sitting in bumper to bumper, if shit gets spicy, I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna be sitting there.
Driving through people at that point.
You're on foot. You're on foot at that point.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna abandon their vehicles, and it's gonna be Walking Dead.
Drive through people's fucking
like
front yards. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. It's like
I
I
gotta do
either
it, I gotta
take
do it.
my truck and I park behind the fucking semi-truck trailers at work, and I just, you know, sit
out.
tight. Or, you know, like I said, go up and around. But, you know, going through the suburbs, it's either a stripped down JPC with none of the fancy shit on it anymore, or chest rig I got on my backpack, and then rocking like my 11.5. And the 11.5 will be more ideal whenever I got a folder for it, throw it in any backpack, and then I need a Surefire adapter for my suppressor as well. And then like as soon as I get those 2 things, like a fucking light comes whenever it comes, and everything.
Do you have plates in that JPCs that you're carrying?
Yeah, it's the JPC I always wear. It's just like, you know, I could do without the fucking the
Just slick
GPs
down
on the side and shit. Yeah. Or it's
Nice.
the spare disc.
So that's one thing that I have been like. So carrying a kit is how much of it can. All right, so truck guns work when you're in the country, because if you're going to the Dollar fucking General, you're seeing 6 fucking
Well,
people.
my thing is,
They're not breaking into your truck. You know those 6 fucking people.
Probably
this
related to
came-
those 6 people.
This sort of scenario, this sort of topic came to mind after seeing what was happening in the streets of the UK,
Yeah.
where you have mobs of people hunting down
Other mobs of
individuals of different skin tones.
Yeah. If any civilian decides that they're going to fucking set up a checkpoint that I have to pass through, they're going to have a bad.
They're gonna get
I'm just saying,
checked
on your way to work, maybe
real
you come
quick.
across somebody or a group of 3, 4, 5 dozen people looking for gingers to beat the shit out of.
Smoke them if you got them.
To steal, to kill, to do whatever, just because they don't look like you.
Oh fucking I.
I mean, if you look at what's happening in the UK, you have the refugees and
All
the
these
Muslims
hours.
hunting down the native UK people, and the native UK people trying to burn down the places where they're staying and their businesses and whatnot. So it is a civil conflict going on there. I'm saying you're coming home from work and you run into a mob of around 100 people who are there to do harm to you simply because you don't look like them.
If that happens, you call me. We fucking play and smoke me if
But
you
no,
got
that's
'em.
just
We're
that's
gonna
just,
have a great
that's just the
fucking day in the
scenario
neighborhood.
with it.
Okay, so from a tactical standpoint, the best way to deal with that situation would be to remove myself from that environment.
Avoid the situation
Correct.
as much as possible.
Yeah. You know, am I going to I take 75. 75 is a very 75, 94, 96 where I'm at are the artery freeways, right?
Pretty much for Michigan.
If
Yeah, they're big.
now using surface streets, I can get out of. I work in downtown Detroit. You can leave this fucking in. I don't care. Come fucking see me. I hang out at the Russell Industrial Complex. I'll give you the fucking address. Tarbers, if you fucking listen to this shit,
You fucking bitch.
come see me. Anyway,
Michigan
I'm
on
not
Michigan
taking-
crime, baby.
I'll bring the camera.
I'm not taking Woodward. I'm not taking 75 to get out of fucking town, right? I am, I will find a route outside of it. You're not going. It's that. You shouldn't be like, sweet, time to Mad Max my time to
No, I'm not saying
Viggo
that.
Mortensen the road my fucking way home. No, you're attempting. You're going to have that stuff. It's going to be in the passenger seat.
And I'm not
It's gonna
trying
be
to
on my
say
lap.
like how to go about that, but I'm just like saying
The
like the
kit to
scenario around like planning. You go to work one day and you see you feel like something, the air is just, it's static. You feel it building up, and then maybe you are taking 75 home and you find yourself stopped bumper to bumper because this huge mob is going car to car looking, and you can't take those surface roads out. Like that sort of was like my mind, like the scenario building with it.
Yeah, no, and 100% I get it, and you're not going to abandon your vehicle if you absolutely have to, right? Because that's a force multiplier. And because once you do, now it's what are you going to take with you?
Right.
Right? You have a bigger ruck than I do, right? Everything fits into my backpack. Once it comes out of my backpack becomes lighter. My core carrying weight becomes maybe a little heavier, but I'm still very much, I can be on the move. Yeah. I'm not heavy, because if I have to abandon my vehicle, then that's going to take me as close to home as possible, and then it's abandoning that. And if you have to go through a checkpoint, then you have to go through a checkpoint. Drive full speed, shoot out the front window.
That's it, man. Like once you're there, as soon as you get out of your vehicle, you are fucking exposed. And you better pray to God that you are the only person,
you got one speed and it is fucking go.
The reality of it is, I'm not the fastest person, even at this table. I'm not going to be the fastest person in that mob, and I'm probably not going to be the only armed person in that mob, and I'm going to be the only one there to defend myself. So I better hope that whatever the fuck comes between me and getting out of that vehicle is the vehicle is completely disabled and. So there's nothing I can do to.
And that's another point. And then whereas you're gonna look weird walking through your trek home, kitted. He demo, not so much, right? Much more rural. You two, based on where your direction is going and your direction is going, I feel like maybe you would want that upgraded kit, that up armored kit. Versus me, I don't want to be. I'm moving through a much more densely populated area.
You want to be as inconspicuous as possible.
I don't. Yeah, I want to draw the least amount of attention to myself as possible. So I want it to be as minimal as possible.
That's why
a backpack, a chest
100%.
rig. It's something that if it were the winter time and with my parka, that'll fit right underneath it in a single point sling, drawn up real tight. Type of a thing, and it is. Your tools are great. You should know how to use all of your tools, but it really comes down to the situation. It is very situationally dependent about what you're going to carry.
Mission dictates gear.
100%, and in whatever your software is going to also. The more software you have, the less hardware you need, right? Because you're going to be able to do more with less.
True.
Type of a thing. So our great hosts, you touched a little bit. I think
it's just
on
the ready rig. It's got.
So where do you keep everything when you throw it in the Jeep? Because that's another thing is that like I was touching on, when you're out in the middle of the sticks and the 6 people that are going to see your truck and maybe look into it.
Probably related to you.
Probably.
Let's be honest here.
Not him,
Not
but
me.
everyone else.
You know them because they're your neighbors, or you know them because you see them in town,
Or you grew up together,
and they
or
all
you
carry
know someone
they all
you
carry
know.
the same shit.
Yeah.
Fucking Bubba's got the fucking the 410 on the 12 hanging on a rack in the back of his fucking
Absolutely.
his
Bubba out.
1982 F-150 or some shit, right? Like it's a whole different thing than where you guys park. Or when I used to work for a brewery that was less secure and more in the downtown area, we couldn't park in our lot. We had people who had musical equipment stolen out of their vehicles in our lot, type of a thing.
Our lot, luckily, is very secure. And again, the way I did it
Yeah.
for mine, as you know, it's just the ready rig, the little dangler. I had the 16-inch at the time. Obviously, I would prefer it to be the 7.62 going forward. It sits in the back seat, and it looks like a horoscope girl's back seat under it. Like, I have hoodies, jackets, empty backpacks, fast food bags just laid over it specifically for that. Under it, you can't. All that looks to the backseat is just junk.
Okay.
Like some fucking 21-year-old college girl drives
Exactly.
it that you would never suspect.
that's
to
Well,
be
and it's the same vehicle that you would suspect a 21-year-old
college
girl
Yes,
to be
but
driving.
to sort of discredit that is that I bought the Jeep. It had the Rubicon, tires, wheels, a little bit of a lift, the fender, the new fenders on it, the splash guards on the inside, the light bar, the front and back bumper is completely metal and redone too. It looks like your typical Tech to
Bullet.
Douche's Jeep.
The bullet
It
antenna
looks
does
like
not do
it looks
you
like
any
a Glock, it
favors.
looks like a Glock owner's Jeep who has Punisher skulls everywhere. To be honest with you, and actually, when I bought it, each mirror had like a white handprint, like Punisher skull thing on it. And the first thing I did when I got it home with a knife, took that shit right off both mirrors. Like, get the fuck out of here.
One of the worst things you can do as a if you carry a firearm is to put a fucking gun sticker in the
Just advertising it, yeah.
fucking vehicle.
The fucking Michigan Midden with the fucking
Yes.
lock
Yeah.
drives me
Yes.
fucking crazy.
drives me fucking
I wanna
nuts.
hit
I want to
them.
break into so many vehicles and get free fucking firearms
fun of it, I'm like, I
just
can just get
because.
free ammo
Just
and
to be like, does this guy? Hey, you've got a gun sticker.
He's got a SIG.
Is there? Yeah. Is there a Glock in the center
The meme
console?
was like the Glocks and the FDE Tacomas are free. You can just take them home with you.
Yes. Yes. 100%.
But yeah, my thing was like our lot. It's very populated.
Oh, yeah.
There's cameras everywhere. There's like security rolling around.
Roving security every fucking
And
2
the
minutes.
idea was not being too far from home, or in case something stupid happens inside and I actually need it. Like, it's there. I'm not really worried about anyone taking it there, which was sort of my thought process behind.
But then
mine,
what
but,
becomes your? I wear a lot of skimpy fucking clothing. I wear smalls, a lot of smalls. There's not a lot of guns that I can conceal in like my day to day, like, and because I am a smaller guy too. Like, there's not a lot of guns because even when I carry the Shield Plus, like, there's some shirts and short pant combinations that it will print a little bit. So, and so do I run into if I'm wearing this and this, do I run into Kroger to get something? Do I run into the liquor store to get something? Versus I have a lockbox because I think you should. If you're carrying it and you can't be around it, it should be locked up. 100%.
I have that. I have like one tethered, to the front of the Jeep.
Same right underneath the driver's seat. Yeah.
Yes, and so I always have, it's always in the holster as well too when I'm carrying it, so it would be easy as a slip on. I always wear the belt I wear to work every day is it's not Ridge, maybe it's Groove belt.
Yeah.
I
think it's
somewhat
somewhat
rigid.
rigid.
It's got like the magnet sort of like hook thing for the buckle. It's very much like
My EDC is just it's in a double stitch.
that's just for work because it's
nylon.
black. Like actually EDC belts like the Tenacor. I forget what it is.
I have the
I rock the
core
blue
one
alpha belt
that
to
I
work,
wear
but
for
I
like
wear
date
a
nights.
fucking quarter zip to obviously cover it because it's either wear a
Well,
quarter
they're
zip
not
or wear a
allowed in the
suit and tie.
building, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
I won't elaborate any further on that for me personally.
I'm also
but,
not
yeah.
wearing a suit and tie to work every day, so I fucking put on a quarter zip and a polo with a tie to make it look like I'm wearing a full button up.
So
Not doing that shit.
It goes back to, I don't think you should leave guns unsecure in any sort of vehicle. I think that you have much more leeway when you are out in a rural area, especially where guns are much more acceptable to be out in the open to just be carried in your truck. Than versus, if you're in a densely populated urban area where you've got who knows how many people are passing your vehicle at any point in time, and they're like, oh, look, I'm just going to burglarize this vehicle, and now I have a free gun,
Bonus
and then you have to
points.
go through the fucking headache of losing your firearm. Although, a buddy of mine lost his Glock, and when he got it back, it had an extendo mag in it, and it did not have one when it went missing. So,
That's a good return.
sometimes you win.
Got
Sometimes
the old
you get a
free
bonus.
stendo.
Yeah, sometimes you
More
get a free
melanated
stendo mag.
individual.
Yeah.
All right. We've been at it for now over 2 hours. I think we'll land the plane. We'll take some pics of the truck gun kits if we choose, and then maybe get into some of those shenanigans. But thank you all for joining.
It's 11 o'clock on a school night.
It's 11 o'clock on a school night. It's also trash night, I just remembered for me, so I'm going to take that out as well. End with the best. List of bests from the past week. You can list one, you can list whatever, but essentially, last week, what was the best thing you saw, you purchased, you drank, you smoked, you ate, whatever it is? Let's hear it.
Pretty easy. We tried this new Italian spot that's near us. They had a really nice like pepper pasta that was like 7 pepper pasta or something. It was really good. So go with that for eating. I got a $30 scotch from Costco that I was very much surprised by. I should have brought it over.
I think I know what you're talking about. It is
very
actually
impressive. And I will say that the My Father the Judge cigar, I get the hype. I really fucking do. So that would be my best.
Nice.
My best is I made it through the week, so that's a fucking plus. That is a plus with my mental health right now.
Yeah.
That's a big one, but I don't know. Best would probably be Vincetta Garage, the old shop towel burger.
Yeah, that's my go-to.
Oh man, it just hit right on Sunday. Had a couple of Malibu and orange juices. Make fun all you want. The person that I went to hang out with made fun till they tried it, and they're like, "Huh, this is actually really fucking good. It's just a white girl drink." I'm like, "Yep." Guess what? White girl drinks are always the best. So make fucking fun all you want.
Umbrella drinks, fuck.
That's it. They're like, "Oh, you look like you drink fucking just straight scotch, straight whiskey." I'm like, I look like that because I look like I live in the fucking mountains, but I don't.
However,
drink that. I'm like, however,
I like to have a good time.
I'm like, I like to enjoy my drink and not feel like I'm gonna fucking die afterwards. So I drink fucking white girl drinks and smoke cigars with the boys. But yeah. And I had a pretty enjoyable Sunday with a coworker.
Stupendous.
So see how that goes.
I had a James Hetfield cigar. It was great.
I actually was going to mention the M81 Blackened cigars. They're a collab with James Hetfield and Drew Estate. They're a pretty fantastic cigar. And I did have one of those last week, so I'll put that on this list. I went to breakfast alone last week for the first time in forever, and it was pretty good. A little spot in Brighton, Michigan. It's called Cheryl's. One of my favorite spots for breakfast had a cinnamon roll French toast. Ooh, it was really good.
Fuck yeah.
And then I found a new band last week. I'll put something different on there. Found a new band last week. They're called Starve. They came out with a new album.
Hardcore?
What's that?
Is it hardcore?
Yeah, it's it's
it
hardcore, like metalcore sort of. There's no clean vocals, which is very nice. But yeah, they're real nice outfit. Album fucks pretty hard. Did a deep dive. Have become a pretty good fan. They've been on rotation, so
Excellent.
Hold on. What was the question again?
The best whatever from last week.
Last week. Today is Thursday.
Today is Thursday.
I think it was last weekend. Yeah, it should have been last weekend. I don't remember. I was down in Ohio at a drift race or rally race, and fucking this concession stand, right? As overpriced as it was, as you can imagine.
Always.
Dude, they got this thing called the pizza burger.
Ooh.
Okay,
Let me tell you.
I'm listening.
Just, you know,
Intently.
it's fucking... I'm still trying to figure it out, but, like, they took, like, cheese and pepperoni, and then, like, they had it inside the patty, and that's how they cooked it.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
And then, you know, the bun wasn't all that special, but,
Yeah,
like,
I mean-
that patty was, like, out of the fucking world,
Sounds
dude.
fucking...
I took a bite out of
orgasmic.
that shit, dude. I burnt the top of my mouth, and I started breathing like a retarded dragon, but I housed that whole thing in, like, fucking 100 seconds. That thing's gone.
Hell yeah. Sounds fucking amazing.
dude. Fucking, and then rally races in itself. That's a whole. That shit is cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I was seeing the pictures; those were sweet.
Yeah, that did look.
I also lost like 10% of my hearing in Eldora, but like that's
yeah.
Oh, I believe it.
Sprint
Yeah.
cars,
Yeah, I
the sprint
believe
cars
it.
are
No
loud
doubt.
as shit.
that happens.
that's cool as fuck. And then I haven't been drinking lately, so like I
Good
drink
for
nothing.
you.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
For
For now.
for now.
Yeah.
It really depends. We'll see how everything else
I got a
goes.
handle of 151 waiting for me at home. I'm gonna get
The episode I recorded earlier this week is a solo. It's going to come up before this. I did the bests already, so I won't repeat from those. But I did just buy 2 packs of cigars, both like minis. Montecristo makes like a tin of like 20 or 50, like real, like, you know, almost like cigarette.
cigarillos.
Yeah, like real short guys. And then AJ Fernandez, they do a New World in a slightly larger version. So I bought, you know, one of each of those.
I've been looking for
Simply
little shorter
because I'll give you one. I'll show you them too. Simply because I'll sit out on the patio on, you know, weekends, and I'll just enjoy like a tiny like little like coffee, like an espresso, and I would love a cigar, but I don't want to like light up a 30+ minute smoke.
Yeah, you don't want
And
to
so
spend like
those
an
have been
hour on it.
perfect for that. I love those.
The
for that.
Sweet Janes
So,
are also,
I
they
can't
come in a
do,
little
like,
tin.
the
You don't like
flavored
them?
stuff, no.
Man, them Sweet
The
Janes.
Montecristo stuff, the AJ Fernandez stuff, it's great. So I like those a lot, but I can't do the flavored stuff.
Yeah, I would really like a 10 or 15 minute because like I tried that
BestCigarPrices.com
Rice.
was where I got them for like real cheap. Yeah.
yesterday I had I took one of my shorter ones out, which was the Last Rites,
Oh yeah,
and I enjoyed it.
it's a good one.
Yeah, I don't like the dark oily wrappers. I don't think,
Ooh, I love those.
but it I think it was a little longer than I wanted it to be, because I just really wanted like a nice thing before dinner.
Right.
10, 20 minutes, half hour tops. Exactly. I didn't really want to. I was like, I'm gonna have to spend time on this type of a thing, and I knew I had shit to do. I wanted to enjoy it and everything.
So that's why I like those. There's no pressure. It's real quick. It's nice, and they're really cheap too. Excuse me. So that's my best. But we'll call it there. We'll wrap this thing up. Until next time. Thank you, fellas.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you having us.